What is up, my friends? It's a brand new season and we are back. Today's watch along. The Reds take on Bournemouth in the first game of a brand new Premier League season, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all. The team news is in, and of course I will run through it momentarily. We've also got the confirmation today of Giovanni Leone becoming Liverpool's newest summer recruit. He will wear the number 15 shirt this season. We will take you through some words from him. We'll take you through what that might mean for the rest of the window. And of course, tonight we're going to take you through the game. Let's have a look at the team for the first time this season, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mr. Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, your centre-back pairing, your captain Virgil van Dijk, and Mr. Ibrahima Konate in midfield. Alexis McAllister deputises, of course, as Ryan Gravenberch is suspended for this one. Then it is Florian Wirtz and Dominic Szoboszlai. Up top, Cody Gakpo on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and Ugo Ekitike tucked in there right in the middle. So that is where we are at with the starting 11. We'll run through the sub 3 as well in a moment. It's Mamardashvili, Gomez, Endo, Chiesa, Jones, Elliott, Robbo, Nioni, and Rio Engamoa. So that is the Liverpool 11. We will take you through the Bournemouth 11 in a second. And by the way, Bournemouth about to have a new attacking player in their ranks, as of course Liverpool have agreed a deal to sell Ben Doak to Bournemouth for £25 million. So of course we'll talk about that as well over the next few minutes. Now, I have loads to go through, ladies and gentlemen, super chats, messages, but as you can see, today we are being brought to you by our friends at FotMob. Our friends at FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the code PL25 can participate in the giveaway. It is that easy. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world and is the best football app on the planet, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live scores, live stats, XG, momentum graphs, and much, much more during live games. FotMob player ratings are universally used and recognised as the best stats-based rating model on the market. All players are rated with FotMob's bespoke algorithm, giving you detailed insights to who's playing well and who's not. For this season's Premier League, our friends at FotMob have added physical metrics such as top speed and total distance for all players in every single match, and the data will be available just like any other stat in the FotMob app. Now, we do have plenty to go through, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see on the screen there now, you can see a walkthrough of exactly how easy it is. This part here is the giveaway, so if you would like to participate in the giveaway, make sure that you use the copy PL25 on the screen, and we will walk you through that in more detail in a while. But if you want to be in with a chance to win one of those shirts, make sure that you do follow the steps that we showed you there on the screen, and I'll go back through it in a moment because there's another part of that video that I need to share with you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, how are we? Let me get through some of the comments from everybody in the chat. Liz, first one in, said, happy match day. We're going to have a fecking awesome season. I love my massive Anfield Agenda family. Thank you, Liz. Again, Mike, how are we, dude? Oh, and the Reds go marching in. Oh, and the Reds go marching in. How are we, Mike? Brand new season, same old idiot behind the microphone. A couple of cans down. Come on, you Reds, said JWLFC. Leon Cook said, we're back, baby. We are back. And Sweet said, great vibes today, Craig. Look, I just realised that I didn't do that ad read correctly, and I want to make sure that I'm happy for our friends at FotMob. So let me run through it for you one more time. Only this time, I'll make sure I do it right. So let's have a look. Our friends at FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the code PL25, that's PL25, can participate in the giveaway. It is that easy. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world, and it is the best football app on the market, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live scores, live stats, XG, momentum graphs, and much, much more during live games. FotMob player ratings are used and recognised universally as the best stats-based rating model out there in the market. All players with FotMob's bespoke algorithm are rated, as we mentioned, and giving you detailed insights into how well they're playing, who's playing well and who's not. For this season's Premier League campaign, our friends at FotMob have added a few unique new things to their offerings. They will give you physical metrics such as top speed data, distance covered for all players on every single match. The data will be live just like any other data stats in FotMob, and if you want to take part in the giveaway, follow the instructions on the screen there now to participate in the giveaway for your chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or one of 5 Premier League shirts, I should say, of your choice. Simply follow the steps you're seeing on the screen. Download the FotMob app, open it up, click on More and Settings and redeem the code PL25 as shown on the screen. It will give you a Google Documents form that you can fill out with your email address and, well, join the party and have a chance to win, as I mentioned, one of those copies of EAFC and 10 Premier League, or 5 Premier League shirts, excuse me, of your choice. Sorry, there we go. Got through it. Thank you. Appreciate your patience. And again, we'll talk you through that before the game gets underway as well. Right. So much I want to talk about, folks. I'm a little bit conflustered because we've got to talk about Ben Doak. We've got to talk about the situation, obviously, what's unfolding on the pitch. We've got to speak about the fact that we've just signed Giovanni Leone and he's going to wear the number 15 shirt. But of course, we also have to talk about other opponents today. And let's have a look at how Bournemouth are going to line up. So, Petrovic in goal for Bournemouth, Smith at right back, Truffer at left back, Senesi and Diakate will be their centre backs, Tyler Adams and Scott in midfield, then it's Brooks, Tavernier, Semenyo and Evan Nielsen. That is how Bournemouth are going to line up. Gravis suspended, yes he is. So for anybody asking, that's why he isn't there today. This is the only game he's going to serve suspended, so we don't need to worry about moving forward, but it carried over from the end of last season. So we do have him. Let me just get this. I've got a UFC on in the background. It's distracting me. So I'm about to stick on the actual Premier League coverage. Bear with me. There we go. Yeah, it was distracting me in the background. The UFC lads kicking the crap out of each other. Well, Craig, hope all is well. What is this? I know we have Leone in now. Possibly Gay, possibly Isak. Looking at that bench does worry me. I don't think it's strong enough. I think our bench is okay, to be honest. Remember, we've got to add Joe Gomez to that. We've got to add, well, Gomez is on there, but, you know, to be a realistic chance of playing, we've got to add in Conor Bradley. We've got to add in Ryan Gravenberch. So I get where you're coming from, and no argument for me on the addition of a striker. It's very much needed. But I don't know, I struggle to believe that we're going to sign Mark Gay if Canade is going to extend. And there are reports today that suggest that Liverpool are still talking with Canade. Ben Jacobs wrote today to say Liverpool are in active talks to renew Ibrahima Konaté's contract. Nothing agreed yet, but Liverpool are still trying for an extension. Dialogue continues with Konaté's representative. So, still talking with Ibu, and look, I don't remember a time where we would have had 4 top-notch centre-backs and the youngster in Leone and Nalo. I just can't see it happening. I can't see a world where we have Mark Gay and Konaté. And look, I'd love to be wrong, because obviously I'm a fan, I'm greedy, I want more options for the manager. But in my head, I've always felt that once we get the young centre-back in, it was one of Konaté or Mark Gay. And if the club are going to extend Konaté, I don't know, I'd be doubtful that we go for Mark Gay. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I have been wrong on occasion. Right, both excited and nearly bricking it. Said Rabadan, yeah, the nerves are starting to kick in, dude. It's back, real football. And we're an hour away from kickoff, so I totally understand the nerves. But I'm just excited, really excited for the Reds to be back in action. Where is Dan's? So there's some questions that I do question if people actually follow Liverpool Football Club. Dan's hasn't played all summer, and he is playing catch-up, and again, I don't think he's going to be part of the first team squad this season too regularly. He may get a loan before the window shuts, but let's wait and see. On Ryan Gravenberch, he was suspended because if you remember at the end of last season, he picked up a red card, which means that carries over to this season. It was the last game of the season. So again, that's why we don't have Mr. Gravenberch today, but he will be around going forward, so nothing to be concerned about. But that's unfortunately why he doesn't have an opportunity to play today. So, right, let's go through. So, loads of people ask me for the bench and stuff, and I'll do my best to get to it. Usually we will have it scrolling across the bottom of the screen there for you as well, but happy to read through it for you. Bear with me. So, Liverpool bench today: Mamardashvili, Gomez, Endo, Chiesa, Jones, Elliott, Robbo, Nioni, and Rio Engamoa. So again, Mamardashvili, Gomez, Endo, Chiesa, Jones, Elliott, Robbo, Nioni, and young Rio Engamoa. Chinese beer, sunshine, start of the Premier League, priceless. Nice, Matthew. Have a good one, bro. Get it into you. Diogo, of course, on our minds today as well. Diogo's family will be at Anfield. His wife and his children will be at Anfield tonight, so it's bound to be an emotional affair for sure. And of course, the Premier League are honouring Diogo Jota right across the opening weekend of the Premier League campaign. Tanner said, can't help but feel I'll shed a tear today. Yep, it's an emotional occasion, mate. I totally understand. It both feels a short time ago and quite a while since the tragic passing of Diogo on July the 3rd. It must be very difficult as well for the lads, because all summer, everywhere they've played, people have wanted to, of course, show their respects to Diogo and it be marked before the games. Tonight, of course, his family are there as well. It's going to be an emotional one, but hopefully that emotion can be channeled onto the pitch and into the stands as well, and the lads get the result and, of course, honour Diogo and his brother Andre. Kasim said, keep up the good work, Craig. Much love. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your support. Carl, how are we? 48 months as a member, dude. We love that. Carl said, random. So you wake up from 15-year-old coma. How would you sum up Liverpool, and what would surprise you most and what would you hate most? Well, the thing that would surprise me most, Carl, is that we've won a Premier League, 2 actually in that 15-year period. And what would I hate the most? I think it'd probably be the ticket pricing and the lack of availability for lots of people to get to games. That's always the one downside of success is, football keeps moving in that commercial direction. So I'd probably be disgusted at the way the jersey costs have gone, the ticketing systems are and stuff like that. But that wouldn't be Liverpool-centric. That would probably be right across football. But definitely would be happy that we've got 2 Premier Leagues in the bag, Carl. That would be the positive aspect. And obviously I'd probably be a little bit concerned about what's this COVID that you speak of? What was that era that I missed out on? Right, so let's take you through a couple of words, shall we, from Giovanni Leone since joining the Reds. He said, I'm honoured to be here. When I saw Liverpool call, I said, wow, this is crazy. It's one of the best clubs in the world. It's not possible to say no to this club. Love hearing that from the youngster. And like I said, he will be wearing the number 15 shirt. So, this piece here from Craig Houlden of the Daily Mail said that Paris Saint-Germain's Gonçalo Ramos is back on the agenda for Newcastle as they continue their search for strikers amid Alexander Isak's attempt to force a move. So, again, still a few legs left, or a few weeks left in this Isak saga, but at least Newcastle are out there trying to get some business done. Fabrizio Romano, speaking a little bit about Alexander Isak, said this: the message from the player is very clear. Liverpool Football Club, so remember that. Liverpool are ready to bid, very ready on this. Remember that Liverpool are ready to sign Alexander Isak in the final 2 weeks of this transfer window. All we need is a little bit of encouragement, and then bing bang bosh, job's a good one. Leone was a bit expensive, I think. And you say that based off what? This is the same guy who, you, by the way, Mr. Pink in the chat, Mr. Punk, who a minute ago didn't know why Gravenberch was suspended. And your expert opinion now on Leone being expensive is supposed to be something we take seriously. I think I'll trust the club, the recruitment team, the data team, and the fact that every club in Italy wanted to sign him and we got it done, mate. So, respectfully, I think 35 million euro is going to look like a bargain over the course of time. But, let's see which one of us is right on that. For game week 1, we have officially gone over 1,500 people in the Anfield Agenda FPL, which is incredible. If you do want to join up, there's still time, obviously. The link is in the description of this stream. Right, where else have we got? This one, Victor. How are we, sir? Hope to see Rio for a few minutes. It'd be lovely. Victor, it would. It'd be lovely. You know, I don't know how I feel about tonight. I'm not sure. Like, honestly, if I'm being blunt about it, looking at that Bournemouth team doesn't scare me one bit. It doesn't. I might be opening myself up to look foolish here, but that's not a team that I think we should really have any troubles getting past, especially at home. So, I don't know. I'm feeling confident, but I don't want to become arrogant. Might be too late for that, said a few people. Whoop whoop! Lord Craig, we're ready. Myself, Christine, Sinead, all ready. Nice. We love that. And the bunny. The bunny's there as well, Dave. Ace and Tino, how are we, dude? 23 months with us as a member as well. Said, can you name a player that has been linked to us that would surprise you if we actually signed? Yes. Rodrigo. I said this. I like the idea of Rodrigo. We've been linked to him. But it never felt like one mate that I thought was going to happen or that we get over the line. The whole package and the wages and all of it just felt a little bit unlikely. So he's probably off the top of my head, the one I go with. I heard a lot of people saying Macca wouldn't play the game. Do you know why? Is he not fit? Joshua, he had a delayed pre-season, mate. So Macca had a little bit longer off than everybody else and was playing catch-up because he was nursing a few injuries. So I'll be really surprised if he plays the full 90 today, but very relieved that the manager deems him fit enough to at least start the game. But yeah, that's the reason, mate. Just a little bit delayed. What's my FPL lineup? Oh, God. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I can't remember. It'll be bang average, whatever it is, because, you know, I am a bang average FPL player. So whatever it is, I wouldn't be expecting too much from me in FPL. When you're looking at the FPL table, don't even bother looking for my name in the first 500. Keep going down. I'll probably end up somewhere down there. Which Liverpool players did I pick? What Liverpool players did I pick? I went for... Initially, I had Salah in, but I swapped Salah out. So I went for Wirtz and Ekitike. I don't like to go more than two from any one team. So I went Wirtz and Ekitike as the two Liverpool players that I put in. I thought there was value in those two. Although, like I said, I am horrendous at FPL. But when you're wanting to know how good players are or, you know, how good they aren't, I mean, I do think that I've got something here that might help you folks. So our friends of FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the Premier League 25 PL25 code can participate in the giveaway. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world and is the best football app on the market, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live scores, live stats, XG momentum, graphs, and much, much more during live games. FotMob player ratings are universally used and recognized as the best stats-based rating model on the market, bar none. FotMob player ratings, like I've mentioned, top-notch. This season, well, they've added a few new things in there for you. Physical metrics such as top speed and distance covered for all players on every single match. This data will be live just like any other stat on FotMob. For the giveaway, to participate in it, follow the steps on screen. All you have to do is click on the link like I've mentioned in there, go onto the app, download FotMob app, open up settings, go to more, then settings, redeem the code PL25 is shown on screen. This will bring you to a Google form that will allow you to participate, and that is it. It is that simple. If you'd like to take part, like I've said, follow the steps on screen to be in with a chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Right, and thank you to our friends at FotMob as well for helping us with the opening game of the season. Right, let's keep going. Where are we? So much I want to go through. This one. Jay said, much love, bro. Bench isn't strong enough, in my opinion. Let me have a proper look at the bench, and we'll talk through this, because obviously I get where you're coming from, but it isn't the full Liverpool team just yet, so, you know, we do have to bear that in mind. So let's have a look at the bench properly. Well, the goalkeeper, look, straightforward there. No issues with that. Joe Gomez. Yeah, okay, he's back in. No problem there. Endo, again, no problem. Chiesa, look, let's be honest, He's not coming on the pitch, is he, today? And if he does come on, it'll be because the game is sorted out. So, yeah, that's not a great option that we think Arner's going to trust. Jones, yeah, first team player. Harvey Elliott, probably going to not be a Liverpool player by the end of the window. Andy Robertson, Leone and Ngamoa. I mean, if you throw in, let's say, players who aren't missing today, like Gravenberch and Bradley, it starts to look a little bit stronger and the manager has more options. But we definitely do lack another striking option there. So I would agree on that one. Yeah, I don't think we're too light, honestly. You know, our bench will look better in coming weeks, and I guess we can probably talk about this in more detail when the window shuts, but I understand where you're coming from. This one. Gary said, if you were to play for Liverpool, what would be your chosen position and why? If I could play anywhere, look, I wouldn't play as a goalkeeper, even though that's my position. If I could pick any position, probably left wing, because I'm left-footed. I played there when I played outfield. So I'd say wide left and why. I just like the position, you know, left-footed naturally. Although in this modern football, left-footed me would probably have to be a right winger. So yeah, wide player with me left foot, Gary. Can't wait for Newcastle versus Liverpool. Wonder why. Mate, that is honestly, that is going to be a game where we best be ready. You know, the boys can't go up there thinking that this is going to be easy. Newcastle and their fans are going to be absolutely on it for that game. Now, what I do like is that we have 9-10 days to prepare for that after today. You know, there's no excuse for the lads not to be physically and mentally prepared for that game. But yeah, it's going to be tasty, Carl. Cyrus said, can't wait for the You'll Never Walk Alone playing across Anfield for the first time as the cameras go to the likes of Wirtz, Isak, Salah and Virgil. Absolute chills. I know it just doesn't feel real, mate, does it? That tonight's actually the night the Premier League is back. It feels like Christmas has come early. I'm genuinely buzzing for it. Can't wait. And I love that we're kicking it off on a Friday night as well. Sawyer said, afternoon, Craig. I've got the game ready on my Xbox. You on my phone up the Reds. We like that, mate. Well in. Well in. Douglas Andy, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Lewis Taylor said, Rouge about here. Have a feeling we will get Isak when there's not enough time for him to play against Newcastle whatsoever. Yeah, look, he was never going to be ready for us or Newcastle or wherever he is when the window shuts. Honestly, feel like after the September international break, whether it be at Liverpool or Newcastle, is when you'll see Isak really in the squad and looking to play. How have I been? I've been good, Aryan. Good, thank you, mate. Been what feels like a very long summer, but just excited to be back with the season ahead. Bit unusual, playing on a Friday night, but feels good. Start the season, start the weekend off with a Liverpool game. Really happy with the starting 11. Wouldn't have changed any players in that 11. I would have gone exactly as Arna has. Now, I just hope we put right the few wrongs that we've seen against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. You know, we still looked a little bit disjointed at times there. Some good link-up play in the opening 2025 through the centre. Again, excited to see that relationship between Florian Wirtz and Ugo Ekitike. Just buzzing, man. Just buzzing. I heard 800 million people will be watching. You won't be watching us. There won't be 800 million watching Anfield Agenda, though. Imagine. God, I wouldn't be able to move. I'd be just... Yeah, I'd be absolutely bricking it, mate. I can't lie. The real Johnny Sin said, thanks, bro. I've entered the giveaway. Hope I win FC 26. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, we're really happy to be working with FotMob, and it is a great giveaway, like you've said. 10 copies of EAFC and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. So we'll run back through that in a couple of minutes' time. John said, I would love for Wirtz to score or assist so our rivals will shut the F up about him. Yeah, so, you know, had to stick on a cheeky little, you know, outside better too before we started. I went for Wirtz outside the box, Maka outside the box, and I think that was it, actually. Yeah, they were the two little outside bets. I did like the Virgil header number. 10-1 didn't seem long enough odds for me, so I didn't go with that one. Dave, over in Australia, how are we, sir? Said, hey mate, feel like we are stacked with top talent, but still lacking in squad depth due to the clean out. If somebody goes down, it's drama. Yep, like we've mentioned, and a couple of others, Dave, have mentioned in the chat, you can still see an argument for a little bit more squad depth there. Again, I think we got to remember that there are players missing today, like Connor Bradley and obviously Ryan Gravenberch, who's suspended. You'd probably expect us to bring in one, if not two, more attackers. And on that, actually, just wanted to really talk to you guys about this very interesting post from, which one was it? This Dave O.C. Cop said, Liverpool are considering spending 60 to 70 plus million on a winger separate to the Alexander Isak situation before the window closes. That would be, I don't even know what to say to that. That would be incredible. Like, imagine we got Isak and a 60, 70 million quid winger, and we sorted out Canade's contract, and we have Giovanni Leone, officially now a Liverpool player. Yes, please. That would just be incredible. It really, really will be incredible. Aaron Garza, how are we, dude? Full year with us now as a member, bro. Thank you. Up the Reds. Love from Texas. Love right back to you, my friend. Nessie. I joined a community of 40k and nearly 350,000 now. So happy for you, Craig. Thank you, my friend. Absolute honour to be here with you all. We've just now hit 343,000 subscribers. Like you said, you know, it's been a long road. We've had some ups and downs and lots of fun along the way, Nessie. But honestly, I wouldn't change any of it. I enjoyed it. Even the parts where maybe I would like to revisit. You know, it all brought us here, so very grateful. And again, it's a pleasure to be here with everybody. Christian, how are we, sir? Lovely to see you in again, my friend. Said, hope you're good. Hope the family are okay. Enjoy tonight. Good. Bit of a mad one last night where my missus had a blowout when she was driving home from Dublin. And of course, one of the downsides of a lot of new cars is you don't get a spare. And it's no good having an inflation kit with the tyre shredded. So just before last night's stream, we were rushing around behind the scenes trying to get a wheel change there for her and get her back home safely. And I want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you, and I mean massive, to John Bass Tyres here in Gorey, who drove through 2 different counties to help my wife out and did it for a lot less money than companies up in Dublin were looking to do. So honestly, if you're in Wicklow, Wexford, anywhere around, John Bass Tyres in Gorey is where you want to go, because they looked after my wife big time, and I'm very grateful for that, making sure she got home safe and well. And as I said, drove through 2 different counties to get there as well, so much love. Douglas said, we need more strikers. Last season we had more options from the bench. Looking at our bench, hard to rely on young Rio to win a game. We need 2 more strikers. I think 1 more striker, and I think we'd be covered, because we've got Ekitike, and if we brought in, let's say, Isak for the argument's sake, that'll be fine. I get what you're talking about. We could do another option in a wide position as well, maybe. But yeah, 2 strikers was where we were at before with Diogo and Darwin. So I think that's probably where my head's at now as well. But I do get where you're coming from. We are certainly a little bit light in attack. You know, Chiesa, the manager, doesn't really want to utilise. Rio's still young, so I totally get where you're coming from. Liz said, who takes the pens? Quote from Jen LFC. Who takes the pens? I'd say it's probably still Mo. I've certainly not heard anything to suggest it wouldn't be. We ran a poll on this last night, and even when I finished the stream, it was 50-50. People couldn't decide whether we should revisit the penalty taking situation or not. But yeah, 50-50, like I mentioned last night on that one. So yeah, I expect it to be Mo. And there is Jen asking, who takes the pens? Jen, I think it will be Mo, but for me, I wouldn't mind seeing McAllister take one. I can't lie. Right, I need your help to make sure that we get to that 1,000 like mark before we kick off. We managed to do it the whole way through last season, and it'd be lovely to start as we mean to go on. So if you can help us out with that one, drop an early like. Gary McKay. How are we, Gary? I'm not a Liverpool fan, but your enthusiasm cheers people up. Thank you for being the best football channel. Hope you reach 1 million subs. The fact that you're not a Liverpool fan, mate, and you've come in and said that, Gary, that means so much. It really does, you know. I think enthusiasm is all I can really bring. You know, I'm not somebody who's talented, and I'm not a statistician, and I'm certainly not a journalist. So I try to make up for whatever deficiencies I have, Gary, with a little bit of enthusiasm. So, and look, it's not hard because I really love football and I really love what I do. This is a pleasure, man. But that means a lot to me, Gary. Thank you. Hey, Ben Barrett. How are we, Makara? Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Let's freaking go. I know I've been giving it a few woos all day today in preparation. Ready to go, Ben. Yeah, we've been sharing a load of different Ric Flair gifts as well in the Discord group. Is Salah playing today? Surely is. Surely is. On the right wing. Team is on the screen there. Just in case you haven't seen it, it's Alisson Becker in goal. Jeremy Frimpong at right back. Milos Kerkez at left back. Your captain, Virgil van Dijk, alongside Ibrahim Kanade in the centre of the Liverpool defence. Midfield, Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz. Up top, it is Cody Gakpo on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and Hugo Ekitike through the centre. So, shall we just cut out the middleman and get to the point where we all say, do you know what, Craig? Yet again, you were right. Because, you know, yet again, I was right. I told you the plan for Ben Doak was never to progress him through at Liverpool. The plan was always that he was going to be sold. And today, that came around. 25 million to Bournemouth. It's been a pretty good summer transfer window here at Anfield Agenda with regards to the directions we were trying to steer our audience in. And, yeah. Good money, 600 grand in from Celtic, 25 million. Look, would I have minded him staying around? Not at all. I think Ben Doak's a good footballer, but still good business as well for the club. Right, loads to go through. TOTT2KZ1 said, game day, baby, let's go. Ben, I think I've done that one already, but if I haven't, absolutely lovely to see you, and thank you, Ben. David Massett, evening, Craig, bro, and community. Good evening to David. How are we, sir? Right. I want to make sure I get this done correctly for our friends. So, if you haven't already joined our our giveaway, ladies and gentlemen, let me help you out here. So, our friends at FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the code PL25 can participate in the giveaway. It is that easy. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world and is the best footballing app on the planet, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live scores, live stats, XG, momentum graphs, and much, much more during live games. FotMob player ratings are already universally recognised as the best rating model in the business. All players are rated with FotMob's bespoke algorithm, giving you detailed insights to who's playing well and who's not. This season, they've added new stats, including physical metrics such as top speed and total distance for all the players on every single match. Just like every other stat in FotMob, it will be available inside the app. To participate in the giveaway and for your chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or one of 5 Premier League shirts of your choice, download the FotMob app, open it up, click on More, then Settings, and redeem the code PL25. As shown on screen, this will bring you to a Google form that lets you to participate in the giveaway. And thank you again to our friends at FotMob. Right, folks, are we good? Are we happy? Are we excited? Get your predictions in. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking, what you think the score will be. I'm going to go... I'm feeling ballsy, folks. I'm going to go 4-1. I'm feeling ballsy today. Jay Cliff said, Craig Dokesale, as you predicted, good luck to him, except when he comes up against Liverpool. Yeah, look, I never really understood why he wasn't really given a proper chance to progress at Liverpool. But in any conversations I've had with people, it was always believed that Ben Doak was going to be sold. And look, we can't argue about the numbers. 25 million is is a good fee for somebody we bought for 600 grand and I think made 10 senior appearances for the Reds. Just looking at images now, the boys coming out for their warm-up. It's great to see the sun shining down at Anfield as well. Premier League is back. Kelly Cates there. Jamie Carragher's there. Phil Neville there as well at Anfield. Pitch looking magnificent and not too long to kick off. Just 37 minutes to go. Where are we at? This one, Dave in Australia said, wish Stoke well. Have seen this story before though. Yeah, we certainly have moved a lot of people on to Bournemouth over the years, but good money as well for Liverpool to bring in, 25 mil. Shane, how are we? Said, evening, Craig. Experts ring you lot to win 3-1, but I'd love if Bournemouth got a result. As I said last night, I'm confident we're beating Arsenal 2-0. I'll be very, very disappointed, Shane, if we don't get past this Bournemouth team today because, you know, respectfully, it's not a great team. Like, this is the Bournemouth 11. Petrovic in goal. Then Smith, Truffert, Senesi and Diakate makes up their back four. Adams and Scott in midfield. Semenyo, Tavernier and Brooks in behind Evan Nielsen. Let's be honest, that's an 11 Liverpool should be beaten. And, you know, if we don't, certainly have plenty of questions as to why afterwards. Frozen said, even Slot uses FotMob. Why wait? Go, go, go. Yes. And look, really happy to be working with our friends at FotMob as well. We went into this season and, you know, we had partners in the past that we'd worked with, but we wanted to, you know, freshen things up a little bit and got this opportunity to work with our friends at FotMob for tonight. And we said, why not? We already use the app. We already love the app. Let's see what can happen. And who doesn't love giveaways? 10 copies of EAFC, 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Not too shabby. Tony said 5-0 win to start the season. Kirkes to score. Oh, Tony, it'll be a fun night, mate, if that prediction comes to fruition, sir. And I certainly hope I'm wrong and you're right with the prediction. 5-0 to do the finest. Texas Bulldog said, hope to see some minutes for Rio. Yep, same. Really excited whenever I see him on the pitch. And look, I've got to say, and I always like to say this before the game gets underway so, you know, I don't revisit. I'm really happy with that 11. And there's no complaints from me with the starting 11 that Aaron has gone for tonight. That's an 11 that I probably would have picked myself. So I'm not going to be making any excuses or pointing fingers at the manager if they don't get the result tonight, because it's the strongest 11 I can think of. How didn't I notice the typo? It should have said, expect you lot not to win. I knew you were always predicting us to lose, Shane. It's all right. It's all right. But we will win, Shane. We will win. Did I mention that we're going to win, Shane? We're going to win. Callum Temple Smith. How are we, sir? Thank you for your super chat, my friend. Hi, Craig. Hope you're okay. Let's win up the Reds. Mate, okay doesn't do it justice, Callum. I'm absolutely tickety-boo, sir, and flying. Absolutely flying. Honestly, outside of maybe being in the centre circle at Anfield right now, nowhere else in the world I'd rather be. Here with you guys, looking forward to the Reds. What a night. What a night. And I really do appreciate your support. As always, Callum, thank you for being in with us, and I hope you're having a lovely week and a great weekend ahead. The real Johnny Sins, how are we, my pornographic starring friend? Said, definitely sticking a red card or two in my ACCA for the Newcastle game. Joelinton 2-footer is written in the stars. Dude, I'm right with you. I hope nobody gets injured and it doesn't happen, but that would probably be the first thought that comes into my mind thinking about that Newcastle game, is it's got the potential for a red card and a snidey tackle in it. So I get where you're coming from. I totally see it as well. It's going to be tough. It is. Going up there, it's going to be tasty, as we say. Macca goal is coming today, said Daniel. I hope it's outside the box. I got him at like 14-1 to score from outside the box, so I think I stuck £8 on it or something like that. When Gravenberg comes back, who goes out? Oh, Binu, I don't know, dude. It's one of them questions that I want to just bury my head in the sand on, because I feel grubby answering it. Because you've got 4 there, right? In Alexis McAllister, Soboslai, Wirtz, and Gravenberg. I know Jones is there as well, but those 4 in my head, and probably in most people's heads, we think of as starting 11 players. So one of them, if we stick with the way we're playing now, probably going to miss out. If you're pushing me for an answer, I'm probably benching Dom, but not with any level of confidence or enthusiasm, because he brings a lot to the team as well. But probably just about Dom, if I'm being honest. That would be where my head would be at. But I feel terrible saying that because Dom brings a lot to the group as well. What's this? Alisson Becker, the third Brazilian to reach 300 games for Liverpool after Lucas Leiva and Bobby Firmino. Thank you, Mark, for sending that on to me as well. Callum Temple Smith said, I'm excited for the Premier League return. Let's win number 21. Yes, let's please. Yeah, I agree, mate. Be lovely to go back to back. Dave in Australia said, anybody seen Anfield Agenda icon Brian? Oh yeah, I've been chatting with Brian. I always chat with Brian behind the scenes, and he's been quite busy with work and stuff as well. So no doubt Mr. Brian will drop in soon, and I'm going over to watch the United game with Brian and his brother, so can't wait for that in October as well. Paul said, time to let Liverpool and the FPL dictate my mental health. Yeah, so this is the thing, mate, that I'm obviously really ashamed about, is like your good self, Paul, Liverpool's results do play a part in my, let's just say, mental well-being. That's probably a fairer phrase. And I can't help it. If Liverpool don't win, stay away from me for at least 12 hours. You know, even the dog just runs out to the back garden if I walk into the kitchen after Liverpool lose, because he doesn't want to be around me either. I get it. Yeah, but look, it's what we signed up for, isn't it, Paul, as football fans? Joelinton and Xhaka guaranteed both to be sent off in Newcastle-Sunderland derby game. Again, it's another safe bet there, Shane. Yeah, that one, I forgot actually about Xhaka going in there. And he's their captain as well, isn't he now, Granit Xhaka? So, yeah, that one will be interesting. What I always find funny as well is loads of the people that I chat with, you know, they're going into the season and they're excited, about their FPLs and stuff. So that's the one part of all of this that I never get excited about, because I'm not very good at FPL. I'm really pig-headed with it, and I use reputation too much when I'm playing. So yeah, that's one part that I get excited about, but then realise very quickly I'm bang average. So the results have always dictated my mood, said Paul Kirby. I agree. You know, I think many of us are the same. You know, some people are able to brush it off quite quickly, Paul. I am one of those gentlemen. Mark said there's now 1,550 plus people in the FPL league breaking records. And thank you, Mark, for setting it up for us as well. LFC 2005 said, I stopped doing FPL, just can't be bothered. Yeah, you see, again, I'd like to lie and say that I give up after a few weeks. I don't. I still play it regularly. I still mess around with it late at night in bed, and I'm just not really good, you know? Just not very good. That's what she said. That's for you, Mike. That's for you, Mike. That's what she said. Sorry, Discord humour there. Me and Mike have a little race. Every time somebody says anything, even that's what she said worthy, that gif gets thrown in really quick. AJ said, Craig, are you optimistic about us getting Isak? I am. Look, there is a world where he ends up staying at Newcastle. There is. But, you know, they're getting some joy now in their pursuit of strikers. Vissa looks possible because of Atara moving to Brentford. So, you know, things are starting to trend in a direction. But I guess, let's just, for example, say Newcastle think that they're getting 150 million. If they don't budge off that number, we don't sign Isak. But I still think it happens. Honestly, though, I've said this for weeks, and people might think I'm full of it. I don't care. You know, I do need us to get another forward. But if we miss Isak, and I don't know who the other players would be, as long as we get players in the manager's happy with, I'm easy. Isak could be great, but I'm not going to cry if we don't get him. It is what it is. As long as we bring in a good forward or two, you know, we've got Ugo in, so You know, if we hadn't got Ekitike, I'd be really stressing about a number 9 in particular and who that might be. But we signed Hugo Ekitike and, you know, I'm relaxed. The real Johnny Sin said Joelinton will be out for blood, on the 25th. Stargirl said, I'm here and ready, but I think it's going to be a nervy game. Hope you have a great stream today. Thank you, my friend. Not really sure what to expect. I hope it isn't one of these where we concede early and have to kind of rescue the game. I'd like us to start confident, play in a high tempo, and put up some serious numbers today. That's the ideal scenario, isn't it? Obviously, got to take into account the emotional factor, Diogo's family at Anfield tonight. So that's going to be weighing on the players' minds as well. But fingers crossed we can get the result. Elks said, game 1, let's go. Repeat starts today. Gay coming. So, I'm really dubious on the situation with Mark Gay because I just can't see a world where we renew Canade and sign Mark Gay. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'd love it. As a fan, my goodness, I'd love to have both of them. But having signed Leone now, and unless maybe Gomez is going to move on before the window shuts, I don't see how you give enough minutes to convince Gay in a World Cup year if Canada is going to be around as well, and Van Dijk. There's something about it feels like it's one or the other. But honestly, if it's both, brilliant. That's incredible. I don't know. It's just something about it feels like I'll be really surprised if it's both. You know, and with that report from Ben Jacobs today to say Liverpool turned down a 43 million bid, this is from Empire of the Cop, for Canade as they don't want to sell the defender to a domestic rival. Then we had Ben Jacobs saying Liverpool are still in active talks to renew Canade's contract. Nothing agreed yet, but Liverpool are still trying for an extension. Dialogue continues with Canade's representative. So, yeah. But then you had last night Romano saying deal absolutely on for Mark Gay. So, let me ask you guys. Just give me a yes or no answer, I guess, in the chat to this. Do you think there's a world where Canade extends and we sign Mark Gay this year? Or this summer? Let's go with summer. Obviously, Mark Gay on a free in the future, that could come to fruition, absolutely. But I just struggle to see it happening this summer if Canade extends. So Wayne said yes, Keane yes, Adam yes, no for Steve, definitely for Declan. Yeses, brilliant. Look, I very much hope the yeses are correct because the idea of having a centre-back situation where we've got Gay, Canade, Van Dijk, Leone and Gomez, absolutely heavenly. Sign me up for that shit. Look, if I'm being honest, if we got Gay and extended Canade, I'd sell Joe Gomez. At least I'd be open to selling Joe Gomez at that point. But wow, what a collection of centre-backs if that was the case. Wow. So, Connor's put in a poll. Do you think we sign Mark Gay if Canada extends? We'll check back in on that one in a few minutes. And thank you, Connor, for putting that one up. Right, let's keep going. Colin, how are you, sir? Lovely to see you. Said, I do an FPL draft on Sleeper with my friends. Forces me to watch more games and support individual players. I love the feeling and 100% recommend it. So, that's why I sometimes have a little flutter, Colin. I like, even if it's only like a $5 bet on something, I like to keep an interest in things. And same with NFL. It kind of makes my watching of it a bit more enjoyable. So I can totally understand your FPL draft and doing it with your friends. Totally get where you're coming from. Isak needs sorting. It does, Martin, but again, like I've said all the way through, I just don't see them selling till they have a replacement lined up. But again, absolutely agree with you, bro. Dave, how are we? Said, if we get Isak, do you think his upside is as good or better as Prime, Owen or Fowler? Hard not to get excited about his potential. Do you know what? Not sure. Not sure. When you look at Isak in that Newcastle team, he is the guy, the talisman, the go-to. He gets the goals. Looking at him in a Liverpool team with Mohamed Salah to his right, let's say Gakpo or Ekitike to his left, and Wirtz in behind, I'm not sure what to expect numbers-wise. But what I do think is the burden being taken away from Mo, or at least all of our eggs being in the basket for Mo to contribute the goals and assists like 52, 53% last season. I think anything that relieves that burden and spreads it round is a good thing for us as a club. So individually, I don't know how his numbers look, but anything that shares the goals and assists around and gives Arna more options is a good thing. Great to see you back. Thank you, Alan. Season predictions. Pooh. I want to say something, but I'm going to get in trouble if I say it. But something in my mind feels like we finish second to Arsenal. We win the League Cup and the Champions League. I don't know why, and I've nothing to say make any sense of that because we're absolutely capable of winning the league. So something in my mind feels we might end up behind Arsenal but win the Champions League and the League Cup. That's my best guess. Obviously, I want us to win the league. I want number 21. I want us to go back to back. But I have that in my mind. And I guess that'd still be a damn good season. You know, finishing second, yeah, Arsenal, we wouldn't win the league, but, you know, we'd win a European Cup and a League Cup. So, you know, that and finishing second would be a brilliant season. But I guess what I would say also is I'm going into this season now, Alan, as a Liverpool fan, with probably more expectation of silverware and, you know, trophies and success at the end of it, because there's no excuse in my head now. Yes, we need to get Isak in, but the squad's incredible. The players are incredible. And we've spent huge money. So I expect progression. And progression has to be multiple trophies. So I expect one of the big ones and one of the domestic cups. But my guess, like I said, is second place in the league, win the Champions League and a League Cup. But it is, of course, all I guess. Alejandro said, for me, if we lose to City, Arsenal can push us. Maybe. Look, absolutely. Like, this is what's so exciting about this Premier League campaign. Chelsea are the great unknown. Manchester City surely want to be better than they were last season and make a better fist of a title fight. Arsenal, they're going to be zoning in on trying to win it. They've got their centre forward in. It's going to be a really good competitive Premier League campaign. So, you know, whatever way it goes, I think we're in for some fun twists and turns along the way. And let me just promise you one thing, and I've said this for years now. If Arsenal win the league, I will be on here and I will congratulate them sincerely as a sporting merit from one person to another. Because as much as we all detest some of the Arsenal fans and their weird behaviour at times, their club's doing it in the right way and they've built to it. So if the time comes where they win the league, there'll be no sour grapes from me on it. City, I'll never give any credit to. Never. Just refuse to. You know my take on City, how they've got there, the way they built it. Never going to get any credit or respect from me whatsoever. None. But Arsenal, I'll give it to if they beat us to the league title. You know, I don't like their fans at times. I don't like some of the weird takes they have and all. But, you know, I'm a sporting person. If Arsenal win the league, I will congratulate them sincerely because that's what sport's about. You know, if you lose to a better team over the course of a league campaign, congratulate them, shake their hand and go again next season and make sure you don't want to feel that feeling again of not winning. So, you know, let's wait and see what happens. Should we have kept Darwin till he said confirmation? I understand that, I do, but no, especially if, like, we know how difficult it was to get rid of Darwin. So I think we had to take the deal that was on the table there. Yeah. So, but I do struggle to think even selling Ben Doak now as an example. Surely we got to feel there's one or two coming in from the forward department because we're moving out Diaz, we've moved out Darwin, we've lost Diogo, we're moving out Doak. You probably move out Chiesa. So lots of change in attack. You'd have to believe there's one or two coming in. The League and FA Cup, good old-fashioned double, please. Again, wouldn't say no. Wouldn't say no. If we end the season with one big one and a domestic cup on top of that, it's a good season. But if we end the season with one domestic cup, like let's say a League Cup, FA Cup, I'm going to say that's an underwhelming season for the squad that we have and the investment that was made. So with all this money comes the belief and I guess expectation of a fan base as well. So the standards are high now. And I think we have to demand as fans and expect that standard to be set at a high level. Can't see Isak until after the Newcastle match. Either way, even if he signed tomorrow, he wouldn't be playing in that game for either side. I just don't think he's got the fitness in pre-season. So I think you're probably right in the signing afterwards, but even if he was done, I don't think he'd play any part in that game, just from a common sense perspective as well. Shit Crew said, I desperately want to win the Champions League and Premier League in the same season. Oh, imagine. It'd be absolutely incredible. Connor said, with the money spent, you'd expect at least 2 or 3 major trophies in the next few years. Definitely. If we're not sitting here in 3 years, having added another Premier League and a Champions League, I think we'll be asking questions with the squad that we've put together now. Will said, last minute of the game, you get a penalty, you have Rush, Fowler, Torres, Suarez and Salah on the bench. Who are you bringing on to take it? Rush or Fowler? Want to push me on it? Rush. Yeah, if you push me on it, Rush. But it'd be a coin toss between him and Fowler in my mind. Yeah, Suarez, not overly confident either way. Salah, never been overly confident when he's on penos. Torres, can't actually remember Torres if he took penos or not. So yeah, it'd be between Fowler and Rush for me. And I'd probably go with Rushy. But if you give me James Milner over any of them, I'm taking James Milner. Sincerely, I am. Milner was a machine. Only penalty I remember Jimmy missing for us was the one where the Southampton keeper, I think it was kicking up the penalty spot. Apart from that, I think he was pretty flawless. Tim Barry said, hello Craig, new subscriber here, Scouse African, born in Liverpool. Please give me a shout out. Well, Tim, lovely to have you in, sir. And hope you enjoy the season ahead. Rush didn't take penalties. Nobody said they did. He just asked who I'd bring on to take it. He didn't say that these were all penalty takers. You know, you have to look at the question here. And Ian Rush from 12 yards, whether it be a dead ball or whether it be the ball breaking to him, very few times that ball isn't going in the back of the net. Sebastian said, let's go. We are back. I cannot wait. You'll never walk alone. Thank you, Sebastian. Yes, I can't wait either, mate. Look, let's have a look at the Liverpool team and the Bournemouth team one more time. Just get this open. Right, we'll start off with Bournemouth. This is the 11 that Andoni Iraola has gone with. Petrovic in goal, a back four of Smith, Truffert, Senesi and Diakate. In midfield, Adams and Scott. Then it's Semenyo, Tavernier, Brooks and Evan Nielsen. That is the starting 11. For Liverpool, starting 11 is Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, centre back pairing of your captain Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Kanade. Midfield, Alexis McAllister comes in to deputise for Ryan Gravenberch, who of course serves his 1-game suspension today. Then it is Dominic Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz up top, Mohamed Salah on the right, left-hand side Cody Gakpo and Hugo Ekitike through the centre. The bench for Liverpool today, Mamadashvili, Gomez, Endo, Chiesa, Jones, Elliott, Robbo, Nioni and Young Engamoa. Okay. Right, where are we at? I think Slot is bad at preparing a team towards penalties decider. Look, respectfully, there's a lot I will critique a manager for, but preparing a team to step up from 12 yards, that's on the players. You know, manager can't. He can pick the 5, but ultimately, you got to ask the lads who's confident and who wants to take one. So I never blame a manager for penalties. Never. Mateo said, just place my Vegas bet for us getting the treble. Is it greedy to feel a quad is now the question? It's never been done, so it would be, an amazing first, but never been done. John said we need a stronger bench. We will, John, we will. We do have a couple that would be there today, like let's say Gravenberch and Connor Bradley. So that will be 2 more options. We definitely need another attacker or 2. Agree with you on that. But I think let's talk about the bench by 2nd of September. Now, granted, the league starts tonight, so you're perfectly within your rights to say, is this strong enough to start? But I think we'll get there. We'll get there. Being told by somebody from beIN Sports that we're going to pay Sports 80 million now this season and the rest 60 million sent by my friend. I don't know what you mean by pay Sports 80 million now. Do you mean the money for Isak, 140? I think 130 is the number that gets it done personally, but let's wait and see. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot I'm going to have to go through over the next few minutes, but before I do, I just want to make sure that we are, again, up to date and keeping you guys up to date with where we're at. So, as you can see, today we are proudly being brought to you with thanks to our friends at FotMob. FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the code PL25 can participate in the giveaway. It is that easy. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world and is the best footballing app on the market, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live stats, live scores, XG, momentum graphs, and much, much more during live games. FotMob player ratings are universally recognised as the best stats-based rating model on the market. All players are rated with FotMob's bespoke algorithm, giving you detailed insights to who's playing well and who's not. For this season's Premier League campaign, our friends at FotMob have added a couple of things. Physical metrics such as top speed and total distance for all players at every single match. The data, just like any other stat, will be available in the FotMob app. For the giveaway, to participate in the giveaway for your chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or one of 5 Premier League shirts of your choice, download the FotMob app, open it up, click on More, then Settings, and redeem the code PL25. That's PL25. As shown on the screen, this will bring you to a Google form that will let you participate. And again, thank you to our friends at FotMob for their continued support. Right, folks, that's where we're at. So that's all the housekeeping out of the way. We are ready to go now. Obviously, the club will be paying homage to Diogo Jota before the game. Diogo's family are at Anfield tonight, and this will be reciprocated right across the Premier League this opening weekend. I'm so excited, lads. I'm so excited. We are ready to go. Oh, Barry, absolute legend. Absolute legend. Just in from Barry. Hi there, Craig. Have a great season, mate. Let's hope this wonderful AA community is buzzing again come the business end of the season. A hell of a lot of change as expected at the back end of last season, but doubt in a few of the wildest dreams we foresaw the business that we have done. I didn't, mate. I didn't expect the level of quality that we were getting done this summer, especially with, the Isak situation still to be resolved. It's just been a roller coaster of emotions, Barry, hasn't it? All through the summer, from the early great business that we did to the tragedy with Diogo, which still doesn't feel real, and then, of course, the money we've brought in recouped as well. It's there's a bit of change, there's some new heroes to be worshipped at Anfield, some old names out the door, but I'm so excited, Barry, to go into this new Premier League campaign, dude. And again, thank you so much for that incredibly generous super chat, Barry. You're an absolute legend. And he's gifted 50 memberships as well. Absolute hero of a man, Barry. Thank you so much. And to everybody, who send super chats, post normal chats, hits the subscribe button, all of you, a huge part of our community. We couldn't do this without you guys, and your support is hugely appreciated from myself, from Connor, from my family, and everybody associated with our channel. Thank you all for being with us. Whew. Deep breaths. We're nearly there. 6 minutes to go till kickoff. Andrew Webb. Hey, to my favourite person. Who do you think will bring in forward position? When do you think Gay signs and Isak? Great content. Love you, Craig. Thank you, Andrew. I'm still dubious about signing Mark Gay and extending Canade. Dubious from the perspective of I'll believe it when I see it, but I'd be very much happy to see it. And Isak, that would be just the cherry on the icing, I think. Right, so the boys are in the tunnel in their beautiful Adidas Liverpool tracksuit tops, ready to go, walking out into, well, for many of these guys, their first real competitive game at Anfield, and can't wait to see it. Anthony Taylor is your referee for today's game as well, just a reminder of that one. And we will, of course, have a Diogo Jota tribute before the game gets underway as well. So once again, a reminder, we are being brought to you today with thanks to our friends at FotMob. We've run through it for you, but if you would like to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or a Premier League shirt of your choice, 5 of which they're giving away, you know the drill. Scan the QR code there on the screen. Use the code PL25 as the sign-up option in the FotMob app, and thank you to our friends for that. Right, do you know what? Obviously, we'll talk about Diogo, but how great is it to see the three stripes back? Adidas and Liverpool, it just feels right. Those tracksuit tops are pretty amazing as well. I'll probably have to treat myself to one of those down the line when the funds grow a little bit, but it's delicious, and I can't wait. Sitting here in the Adidas gear, looking forward to the game. Absolutely buzzing. Right, let's go. I want to just tone down the camera filters a little bit. Feel a little bit too bright here. Try this a little bit. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Arna looking dapper as well in his suit jacket. Diogo Jota chant roaring around Anfield as you would expect. Still doesn't feel real, does it? That he's not there with the lads today in the opening day of the season. The quest for number 21 starts now, ladies and gentlemen. Can the Reds go back-to-back? I certainly hope so, but tonight, 3 points is at stake. The first 3 points of the season, and fingers crossed the Reds can get the job done. Of course, I will take you through the game as always. If you would like to take part in our player ratings, make sure you're signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. You need to be in there to submit your player ratings. And again, if you haven't signed up to the WhatsApp, just scan that QR code that you can see on the screen there in front of you. Make sure that you are in the group, because that's where Connor posts the link now to submit the player ratings. Ian. Hey guys, we are back. Can't wait to see Craig's reaction to the goals. Thank you, sir. RIP Diogo Jota forever. Mini TYTV said better than Figo, don't you know? Absolutely, sir. You can see Mohamed Salah there as well. The players just having a quick prayer, composing themselves and getting ready for the new season. Joe, Liverpool amazing Navy Sergeant, said, hey Craig, come on the Reds. Miss you, Diogo Jota. RIP. Let's hope for a win for Diogo. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Joe. Anfield looking absolutely mint, by the way. Looking beautiful. You know, sun shining down. A beautiful summer's evening. Pitch looking absolutely pristine and ready to go. Obviously, the club and the players just paying respects now to Diogo before kickoff. Must be incredibly difficult for the lads as well. As like I said, they've had to mourn in public through all of this with the world watching, and the club have dealt with it amazingly well as best they could. And we know Diogo's family are there tonight as well for the opener here at Anfield. And again, to the footballing world who have come together to honour and respect Diogo and Andre's passing. Again, a huge thank you to Chelsea FC for their players donating some money from their Club World Cup winnings to Diogo's family as well. Thank you. Right, my friends, we're about to get underway. Brand new season, the Reds in action. We'll take you through the game. Elmir said, "You buzzing, Craig? Let's go after this season." Mate, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, like you've said. Andrew said, "Finally, the Premier League is back. I'm so excited. See what we can achieve this year with these new amazing signings. Isak and Gay for the cherry on top." Cherry on the nipple, as I like to say. Absolutely would be. Right, my friends, sit back, relax, and I'll do my best to take you through the game. The madness starts now. Premier League campaign underway. Red's going to be kicking us off, attacking the Annie Road end in the first half, as we like to do. Your referee is Mr. Anthony Taylor. I think on VAR, if I remember correctly, is... who's on VAR? Michael Oliver. Right, Szoboszlai about to kick us off. Brand new season, and we are underway. Of course, the Reds do the decent thing and launch the ball long out right-hand side. Virgil van Dijk looking for Hugo Ekitike early doors. Ball drops and Jeremy Frimpong plays it upfield. I'm going to try my best to focus on comms. Kanade steps up, wins the ball. Again, it's hooked into midfield. It's a bit of madness here in the opening exchanges as Liverpool look to just get a foot on the ball, settle into the game. Salah now. By the way, the lads look absolutely mint in those kits. Look so good. Kanade, back to Alisson. Alisson across to Kirkes. A bit of a heavy touch from him, but keeps it in play. Gakpo, he tries to spin in field, but he's brought down. Referee playing an advantage. Wirtz spreads it across to Frimpong. Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. Dominic Szoboszlai back in field to Maka. Maka tries a forward pass. It's intercepted now. Bournemouth have it. Centre of the pitch. They have to go backwards, though, under a bit of pressure from Liverpool. Now all the way back to the keeper. Schmunga said, "This club is perfection. Proud to be a Red." Thank you, bro. Salah now. Edge of the box. Dinks one in. Is looking for Gakpo. Cleared by Bournemouth. They have a chance to counter, but Kanade snuffs it out, and Liverpool have it back now with Mohamed Salah. Don't know if I put this one up or not, but do it again. Premier League is back. Up the Reds. Thank you, Keane. Right, Virgil. Back to Alisson. Maka, you can see in that Ryan Gravenberch role there, kind of splitting where the centre-backs are at the minute. Kirkes, back into McAllister. Bit of space in front of him now as he gallops into it. Into the left channel. Cody Gakpo. Hugo Ekitike. Outside the box, tries to strike. It's on target, but it's straight at Petrovic. Still weird getting used to some of these new faces in the Liverpool team. Goal kick goes long. Liverpool win it back though. Virgil, not on the same wavelength as Ekitike, tried to slip it down the left channel, but Ekitike wasn't ready for it. Ball now back with Petrovic yet again for Bournemouth. And a reminder, Bournemouth, of course, is where Ben Doak is about to go. £25 million deal agreed between the clubs. And if you haven't heard it as well, Giovanni Leone was officially announced today and will wear the number 15 for the Reds this season. Ball now back with Alisson. Gary said, football is the most beautiful sport in the world. When a tragedy happens, we unite. It's the most beautiful thing. It is. It's lovely to see the world come together like that, as you said. Ekitike now. Lovely ball into the left channel for Cody Gakpo. Good footwork there from Hugo. Gakpo now has support with him. Kirkes, his crossing is low and it's blocked. Just to go back to what Gary said, it is Gary. The football world have been absolutely incredible, mate, in paying their respects and their sympathies to the Liverpool family with the tragedy of Diogo and his brother Andre. Right, Virgil hooks that one forward, straight to Hugo Ekitike. He spins, plays it out right-hand side to Mohamed Salah. Salah now, got Frimpong in the overlap, cuts inside, Salah! Ooh, good save. Salah cuts in onto his left foot, gets a strike away on target. Petrovic comes across with that flying left hand and touches it behind for a Liverpool corner. But early promising signs there. Salah cuts in onto that left foot, it opens up in front of him, hits the strike and Petrovic makes the save. Reese is so happy the Premier League is back. As am I, sir. As am I. It feels like a long summer, but we are back. Right, I will sync up for everybody at 5 minutes. Sorry, I've forgotten the excitement of the new season. Right, we go short with the corner. Back to Wirtz. He pulls it back to Frimpong out of the box. Frimpong goes out to Salah. Salah out with a cross in. Header! Oh, Virgil probably feel he should have scored that. Good pick out by Mohamed Salah. Virgil's unmarked, about 7 or 8 yards out. Have a little look at this. Yeah, I mean, he gets away from his man. If he's onside, which I believe he is, he should be doing better than that. That should be 1-0 Liverpool. Right, we're heading towards 5 minutes, like I promised. So we will sync up now. 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Throw in, far side of the pitch to Bournemouth. They're looking to get on with it quickly, but Anthony Taylor said they're too far advanced. Throw in needs to be taken 10 yards backwards. Press comes on. Lads, Mohamed Salah looks so good in that Adidas Liverpool kit. I mean, he looks good in everything, but particularly good in this new kit. It just feels more like Liverpool in Adidas. It just feels like we're home. Bournemouth now in possession as they move the ball from right to left. Cross in. Oh, that's a bit of a warning sign. Cross played towards the back post. Bournemouth player coming flying in, and thankfully for us, can't make the connection, but that is a very good opportunity for Antoine Semenyo there. Coming in late behind Milos Kerkez, gets a touch on it, but thankfully flies up over Alisson Becker's crossbar. Colin said Bournemouth look really open so far, high scoring. Yeah, lots of the predictions from people within the game were for this to be a fairly high scoring affair with two teams who love to attack. Ekitike again showing good strength here to protect the ball. Eventually gets crowded out though as more Bournemouth players come. It's now back with the Bournemouth centre back who pings it out left side. Well done, Dom. Good tracking back. Can't quite keep it in, but good defensive work there from Dominic Szoboszlai. This obviously something Bournemouth working on, because you can see players starting to get into positions here now. They're going to go for a long throw-in, I believe, here. And Donny Areola scribbling down some notes. Right, here comes the throw-in. It's weird to see Semenyo, one of their tallest players, taking their throw-ins. He pings it into the box, headed away by Kanade. Yeah, it's unusual. You would imagine a player that physically imposing as him, you would want him in the penalty area. Again, Bournemouth go back to the keeper. It's with Petrovic. He goes out left side. Liverpool put a press on and Bournemouth just about get away with that. It's launched upfield. Kanade's back there and he makes a mess of that. Kanade tried to go back to Allison, overhits it and puts it behind for a corner kick to Bournemouth. Yeah, these are the type of little lapses that I speak about with Kanade that make me nervous. Right, Liverpool have 5 players inside their own 6-yard box and then 3 across the penalty spot area. Bournemouth go short with the corner, second ball in, straight to Alisson Becker, who does well to come and claim it. Rolls it out to Dom. Inside to Maka. Back to Kirkes. Virgil. Alisson. He looks to dink one along towards Ugo Ekitike, who wins the header, but the second ball in midfield is won by Bournemouth. Now it's with Antoine Semenyo, right-hand side. Semenyo slips one in down the line. Oh, well done, Virgil. Virgil comes across, Bournemouth trying to pull the ball back towards the penalty spot. Virgil gets there, cuts it out and puts it behind for yet another Bournemouth corner. Yeah, you can see that Evan Nielsen had just drifted into space there. And if Virgil hadn't got that interception, we could have been in trouble. Brooks to take the corner now for Bournemouth. Ball in. Oh, cleared off the line almost there from Dominic Szoboszlai. Salah now. Challenge on him. Good defensive work from Dom. Bournemouth got a flick on there from the corner. And it was headed towards the far post. And Szoboszlai was there to clear it. Yeah. Good work from Dom defending there. Ekitike. Oh, unlucky. You could see what he was trying to do. Still has it though. He's got such good control of the ball, doesn't he? Salah now. Slips it in. Oh, lucky corner. You can see that Hugo Ekitike, his hold-up play, his skill on possession. How does he keep that ball? It looked like it got away from him 2 or 3 times. Then it comes to Salah. He tries to slip it around the back for Cody Gakpo. Bournemouth players there, though, hooks it behind for a Liverpool corner. Where did I get the hoodie from? From the Liverpool app. They've sold out of a few things already. I was looking to get the sweatshirt from the DNA range and they're sold out of that. But yeah, I got this from the app. And it wasn't even that dear. I think it was like €65 or something. Corner in. Headed away at the near post. Keeper comes and claims the second one though. Petrovic then rolls the ball out. Puts his player in trouble. Good refereeing by Anthony Taylor. Tavernier went to ground looking for a free kick. Anthony Taylor thought he went to ground too easily. Waves play on. Szoboszlai. Back to Virgil. Alexis McAllister now. Sends with the park. Spins back inside. De Weerts. I know I said this about 20 times already, but I'm going to say it again. How good do we look in those Adidas kits? It's just perfect. Perfect. Ben Pagan said, 2 years have flown by. Keep it up, Craig. Well, I appreciate you being with us for 2 years as a member, my man. Thank you so much. And pleasure to have you in. Right, Bournemouth now on transition quickly. Switch the ball into the left channel. Frimpong, I don't know what he's trying to do there, to be honest with you, but let's just say he didn't win that battle. Bournemouth now played in behind. Weerts is there. Bournemouth still in possession though, left side of the Liverpool penalty area. Eventually the cross comes in, headed down. Kanade heads it away. And again, Ekitike doing bits. Go on, Hugh. Oh, unlucky. That was a handball. That was a handball. How is that not a handball, Taylor, you fucking gimp? How is that not a handball, you absolute prat? Shenanigans. Blatant handball and a potential red. Blatant, like. I don't know what the hell Taylor's looking at, but... Oh, he's giving a free to Bournemouth for a handball. What? Fuck off! He literally slaps the ball. What is this donkey at? Ah, here. Fuck off. That's nonsense. Nonsense already in week 1. He handles it twice. Twice. Fucking twice. And VAR's there to help this donkey. How is that? Oh my fucking God. Somehow, Anthony the Genius Taylor gives a free out. Somehow. 2 handballs from the Bournemouth player and this absolute fucking spoofer gives a free out. That's ridiculous. What's the point of VAR? What actually is the point if these hee-haws can't figure this out? Can't wait though to hear the usual bullshit from the PGMOL about, you know, lessons will be learned and blah, 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 blah. Fucking 13 minutes into a new season and they're off already. Absolute fucking spoofers, a lot of them, honestly. He handles it once off his elbow and then swats it with his hand the second time. It's just disgusting. It's actually disgusting. Gakpo now. Charging on the left channel. Looking for support. Eventually gets crowded out by Bournemouth players. Fuck me. Wirtz spins it out to Salah. Flicking behind. Unlucky. Lucky. Just a little bit behind Hugo Ekitike. But we're getting there. We're getting there. JT said some things never change. I know. This is madness, mate. Madness. He shouldn't have even needed VAR to come near that. How the referee did not spot that is beyond me. It's I don't know. Basic bitch stuff. Literally swing. It's not even like up off. He swings his hand to the ball. Like, couldn't have been any clearer. It was movement hand to ball, but hey ho. No doubt we'll have some gobshite from the PGMOL trying to explain to us how that wasn't a free kick. Arna saying Bournemouth players are diving, signalling to the referee. Loving it. Ekitike having basically getting a wedgie off the Akate there, nothing from Anthony Taylor. Right, anyway, 17 minutes on the clock, still scoreless. Thoughts on the Sheffield Wednesday and Bournemouth situation? I don't like to see football clubs being run so poorly by their owners. And look, I'm not going to claim I'm an expert on the situations of either. I know a little bit more about the Sheffield Wednesday situation. But either way, you got to ask about the fit and proper persons test for the owners, and are they actually fit for purpose? Offside, surely there, yep. Bournemouth player coming back from an offside position. Free kick, Liverpool. Don't start this shit, Craig. Come on, let's be positive. Don't start that crap. I'm not getting baited by you and that type of nonsense. I'm right, Taylor's wrong. There's nothing to be positive about. It's a factual decision. Gakpo. He's coming back from an offside position. Free kick, Bournemouth. Oh. Lewis Steele said Arne Slot doing the dive gesture on the touchline, not towards the ref, but his own players. He wants them to use a few more dark arts this season. Interesting. Lads, am I the only one who thinks Canade's all over the shop out there? Got a couple of messages on my WhatsApp about it. I think I see one or two in the chat. He just doesn't look like he's zoned in to me, Canade. You know, we already had the early brain fart, shall we say, with the ball back to Alisson, but he doesn't look focused to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Kirkes, back to Alisson. A horse never changes their spot, said Jack. Oh, mate, one game in, we're already having to see this nonsense from the referees. Ashley said Canade and Kirkes both look all over the place. Yeah, Kirkes, although I can look at Kirkes, I would almost think like he's over enthusiastic, if that makes sense. Almost like he's got too much nervous energy in there. Canade just, I don't know, he just looks unfocused. Maybe I'm being harsh. Right, 20 minutes on the clock. Obviously, the Reds burst into the Diogo Jota song. So as we mentioned, we are 20 minutes in, and always mindful clapping into the microphone, by the way, so I apologise to people hearing, but we are at the 20-minute mark, and that is, of course, the time where we honour and respect Diogo Jota. Apologies for anybody if this is audibly horrible for you. I'm going to stop because I know that into the microphone isn't great for people. Oh, when the Reds go marching in. Oh, when the Reds go marching in. I want to be in that number. Oh, when the Reds go marching in. Virgil, the Kirkes. Soboslai pings a diag out to Mohamed Salah. Salah cuts inside. Open up in front of him, but decides to hold up play a little bit. Play it to Alexis McAllister. Back to Mohamed Salah. Dribbles past a couple. Go on, Mo. Unlucky. Taken off his toe there last minute. Canade now. Good recovery from him. Goes back to Alisson. Florian Wirtz now. Cuts inside onto his left foot. Oh, tries to spread it to Gakpo. Just about intercepted by Bournemouth. But it's back with Virgil. Maka. Virgil goes out to Canade, right hand side. Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, running down the wing. Salah, la, 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 the Egyptian king. Come on, boys. We've been so close to that final ball, that final breakthrough 3-4 times early doors here. Good ball into the channel again. Looking for Mo. Can he keep it in? Yes, sir. Salah now. Head up. Goes back to Frimpong. Frimpong to Dominic Szoboszlai. Back out to Salah. Salah goes deep with a cross. Petrovic comes out and claims it. Come on, the boys. Come on. Jack's going through all the animals now. A zebra never changes its stripes. A cheetah never changes its spots either. Anthony Taylor gives a free kick out there against Hugo Ekitike. I have to say, lads, I'm loving the battling qualities of Hugo. Hugo's definitely up for the fight. I love it. I love what I'm seeing from him early doors. Come on, the boys. Van Dijk heads the ball back into the Bournemouth half. Bit of head tennis going on here. That's a free kick, ref, surely, no? No, Wirtz has it though. Out to Cody Gakpo. Go on, Cody. Go on, son, go on. Again, too fucking predictable. Wirtz, no shout for him, man on. Come on. Gakpo needs to remember he's allowed to go around the outside on occasion. Maka comes across there. Eventually fouls Semenyo. Free kick, Bournemouth. Jonathan said, I miss Trent. He'd be awesome in this new squad. Look, he was a great footballer, mate. But, you know, he made his decision, Jonathan. I mean, we had 2 or 3 attempts there to foul Semenyo, and Maka eventually gets the job done. Rate the kit this season 1 to 10. 9. 9, mate. It's beautiful. There's very few critiques I'd have of that Liverpool shirt. I really, really do love it. Virgil. Kirkes, he has a touch, puts it out. 25 minutes on the clock at Anfield. Still scoreless. Right, Semenyo again winding up for a long throw in here. Every Liverpool player back behind the ball now. Here comes the throw in from Semenyo towards the 6-yard box. Ekitike heads it. Wirtz heads it. Gakpo heads it. And eventually Bournemouth hook the ball back forward. He's offside, surely, referee, no? Frimpong. Go on, Jeremy. Good defending, lad. Good defending, Jeremy. Liverpool throw in far side. Right, actually, it's a free kick given by the referee. So Alisson's coming across to take it. Do I have a favourite ever Liverpool shirt? I do. The I think it's the 87-88 one. The one that used to be Crown Paints and changed to candy, but they kept the same shirt. My first ever shirt was the 89-90 grey flecky one. The candy one. That was my first ever Liverpool shirt. I also love the 1996 green and white kind of chessboard one with the grandfather collar. I have to say, this one could be a modern classic as well. This current Liverpool shirt. Yes, Ibu. Good footwork. Gets away from his man. To Salah. Salah to Frimpong. He has to check back in. Maka. Szoboszlai. Again, unlucky. Just that last ball. Bournemouth have managed to get a foot in so many times when we've had that last ball on the breakthrough. Wirtz now. Picks it up, goes out right to Frimpong. Frimpong crosses it in. Ekitike tries to run across the front of the Bournemouth defender. Comes off the Bournemouth player, Liverpool corner. Come on, boys. Ekitike looks very lively. Right, corner to the Reds. Come on. Right, I don't know what Anthony Taylor's doing, but again, fucking referee's wasting time. So, I don't know what's happened. Anthony Taylor's come across to the fourth official, called both managers in. I'm not sure what's happening here, to be honest with you. Genuinely not sure, folks, what's going on here. Both managers been spoken with. Is no manager in trouble or that, and obviously an incident happened. I've no idea what's happening here. It feels like somebody needs to be booted out of the stadium, from what I can gather here, because Anthony Taylor is speaking to the Liverpool security team now. Speaking to both sets of players as well. I really don't know what's happening here, lads. Jack said Anfield bounce and singing the Fede chant. So we're about to get back underway with that Liverpool corner, but I'm not sure what happened with the incident. Somebody saying racism towards Semenyo. But look, if any player out there from either side has received any racial abuse, they should be immediately banned, removed, and if something said something to Semenyo, no room for that in the sport. No, Anthony Taylor's absolutely spot on, and I hope the perpetrator is held to account. No room for that in the sport. Right, we're about to get underway with the corner. However, if somebody shouted something racist towards Antoine Semenyo, then get them the fuck out of the stadium and arrest them. Header from Verge! Oh! Unlucky. Dipping in, but Petrovic gets his hands on it. Yep, I'm good to see in the chat everyone saying the same as well. No room for racism in football, sports, society. If it's a Liverpool fan, I hope they're banned for life, because we don't claim them. No football fan claims that behaviour. So obviously it's extremely disappointing that happened, and when we get more information on it, we'll talk to you. So Brazilian TV apparently are saying something racist was said towards Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo now getting away from Kirkes. Good challenge. That was a foul, surely, on Cody Gakpo. It was. Free kick, Liverpool. Someone said it was one of the guys in a wheelchair. I mean, look, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but all I can say is, and I know I speak for everybody, there's no room for any racist behaviour from anybody in football, and whoever the perpetrator of that racist chant or abuse was, I hope they're fully held to account for it, because nobody wants that in the game. And especially on a night where we're remembering Diogo Jota and his family are there. Yeah. I hope the person is held to account to the fullest extent of the law. Danny said, interesting thought, but how does Isak handle the delivery Ekitike is getting so far? Not sure. Difficult one, Danny, to talk about, 25, 30 minutes into the season. But what I can say is I'm extremely happy with what I'm seeing from Hugo Ekitike. He's certainly putting himself about up there and battling for every ball. Virgil back there helping out Canade. Back to Alisson. So, yeah, certainly really good, bright start from Hugo for me. The word from VAR was possible goal scoring opportunity, not definite. Even the commentators said terrible excuse and stop racism, like you said, Rain. Yeah, there's no excuse for that call not being made on the handball. That's just pathetic refereeing. Kirkes now, unlucky, tried to pick out Hugo Ekitike, or excuse me, Cody Gakpo. Soboslai, back to Canade, out to McAllister. The Wirtz, back to Maka. Maka now, unlucky again, just that last ball. That last ball is the thing that's stopping us. Bournemouth now in transition with Evan Nielsen, working out left side. Just that last little bit of penetration is all we're missing so far. Good ball in behind there. Bournemouth. Evan Nielsen, is he offside? No, he keeps it in. Flag doesn't go up. Slips it in. Bournemouth get to the byline. Oh, that could have been 1-0. I think it's Tavernier. The ball's pulled back to the penalty spot. Late run from Bournemouth player. And thankfully the shot is weak and Alisson saves it. Transition here now from Liverpool though with Florian Wirtz. Again, he just dwells a little bit too long in possession. Come on, we got to be careful. That was a dangerous counter there from Bournemouth. And as you can see in the build-up play, they get to the byline, they pull it back to the penalty spot, and it's just a weak and a mistimed connection there from Tavernier, but that could have been trouble. That could have easily been 1-0 to Bournemouth. Maka heads it down to Kirkes, back to Alexis, Virgil. Alisson to Canade. Feels like the goal's coming, if I'm being honest, from what I'm seeing anyway. Obviously, we have been a little bit vulnerable defensively as well. But in attack, there's been a couple of occasions where we're just that one pass away from finding the breakthrough. Virgil, out to Gakpo. Back to Virgil. McAllister. Ekitike. Virgil again. Maka slips into Ekitike. Go on, Hugo! 1-0! Hugo Ekitike opens the scoring. The first one of the season. Whoop whoop! 1-0. Hugo Ekitike through on goal. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Side foots it. The Reds have the lead at Anfield. And all is restored to normality. Hugo Ekitike with his first. Beautiful. That'll do. 1-0 to the Reds. Gets a little bit lucky with a ricochet as the ball breaks to him, but then he sits the keeper down, puts up number 20 as well in respect of Diogo Jota. Ladies and gentlemen, Hugo Ekitike has arrived. Liverpool take the lead. Great ball from here from Alexis McAllister. Ekitike gives it and then moves ahead of him. Played into him. Little lucky on the ricochet, but then he sits the keeper down, sends him the wrong way and slots it into the open goal. 1-1. Yes, Hugo. Told you a goal was coming. There we go. Look at that. Love that. Gives the keeper the eyes as well. Keeper goes down to his right. Ekitike slots it the other side. 1-0 to Liverpool. We will take that. Yes, Hugo. 1-0. Arna gives a little fist pump as well. Whoop, whoop. Love the little respect to Diogo Jota as well. Hugo Ekitike, the first goal of the new Premier League season, scored by Liverpool's new centre-forward, Mr. Hugo Ekitike. Just need a little dancing alien now and we're all good. Because you don't blame it on the sunshine. You don't blame it on the moonlight. You don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Go on, Newlon. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. Ball in, Ekitike. Nearly a second. Generates a little bit too much power on the header and it goes over the crossbar. Hugo is here, ladies and gentlemen. So, the referee's call of no red card to Senesi was checked and confirmed by VAR, with the action deemed not to be a clear handball offence, nor denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Let me say this to VAR. Fuck you. And the referees. And the spoofing. Absolute shysters. All of you. Anybody who's ever played football knows that was an intentional handball, you spoofing clowns. They might as well just say, we're trying our best to make sure that the season is competitive, because that is a cop-out from VAR. That is a cop-out from the PGMOL. Everybody in the world knows that was a handball, a blatant handball, and a clear one. So all of your lies and bullshit isn't going to convince anyone. Nonsense. Oh, it was checked and confirmed. Oh, well then, nothing to see here, PGMOL. Nothing to see here, lads. Now, fucking gimps. The assist came from Alexis McAllister, Maldini. Although I don't know if he'll officially get it because it ricocheted back off a Bournemouth player. But yeah, like, who are VAR trying to kid with that nonsense? Oh, it was checked and cleared, was it? Well, I checked it and said you're a prick. How about that? Good challenge. Come on, the Reds. This is the same lad, by the way, Michael Oliver, who said the Odegaard handball against Arsenal wasn't a handball either. You know, that blatant one where he drags the ball away. Not intentional. These lads are absolute spoofers, and they're only ruining their own sport. The PGMO and the Premier League don't at least say that is bollocks. I don't know what else to say, because they're killing the game. It's nonsense. Oh yes, Craig, great goal from Hugo. He is giving me Torres vibes with the height, build, blonde hair and running long sleeves. Go on. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant so far. Nothing but positive stuff to say about this opening 41 minutes from Hugo. James Hunt said it's always Oliver, Craig. I know, and he's supposed to be the best. Do you know what I mean? He's an absolute clown. Then you have those Manchester City muppets coming out and going, I applaud Michael Oliver's courage. And fuck you, courage. He was a pussy. Semenyo. This is it though. They bang on about respect, right? Hang on. Bournemouth on the attack. Strike block. They bang on about us as football, respecting referees and the officials. But how can we? How can you have respect for people who are seeing something with their own eyes that the rest of us can see and are then lying to us and saying that that wasn't a handball? How are we supposed to respect that shit? Yellow card for Milos Kerkez, by the way. Late challenge. No arguments on this one. It was a committed tackle and he didn't get there. Referee's right to pull out the yellow. Kerkez is injured himself, I think, here. Kirkes back up on his feet and does get a yellow card from Anthony Taylor. No complaints about that. It was certainly a yellow-worthy tackle. You can see what he was trying to do, but didn't get there. Bournemouth player got there ahead of him. Yellow every day of the week. Right, let's just talk this free kick through. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Kind of just sort of in line with the edge of the 18-yard box, in and around that area. Right side for Bournemouth, Liverpool's left. Liverpool holding the line on the 6-yard box here at the minute. In swinger. Cleared at the near post by Kirkes. And Bournemouth go back to the keeper. Manny said, watching you on the TV, but grab my phone to hit a like 1,000 million% handball. Thank you, sir. It was. It's ridiculous. These lads trying to tell us that what we're seeing with our own eyes isn't there. And they want respect. No, respect is earned. And that nonsense, again from VAR, not getting respect from me for it because it's absolute spoofery. Andy said, hey Craig, new here. This is my first watch along. Feckin' love you as a host in this community. Keep up the good work. Thank you, mate. I kind of do switch up. When I'm in match mode, I do get a bit more angry, obviously. Especially with those type of ridiculous calls from VAR that are blatantly clear. But I do appreciate you being in. And I promise you, I'll go back to normal, non-lunatic version when the game's over. Well done again. Come on, boys. Get stuck in. You'd imagine there'd be a few minutes here added on for that break and play where the referee was dealing with the racist incident. Right, boys. Come on. Yes, Jeremy. Good defending. Good football, boys. Well played. Soboslai. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky, Don. Nice ball in behind looking for Mo, but Petrovic read it well. Three minutes. Thought it might have been a little bit more than that, but 3 minutes added on by Anthony Taylor. The end of the first half. Soboslai. Obviously, we've plenty to talk about at half-time. Kanade. Back to Maka. I think Maka's looked good, by the way. Love to know your thoughts on that. Obviously, this is a bit of a deeper role than he'd normally play, but I think he's looked quite tidy in there. Kanade. God, I love these kits. Virgil. Milosh. Good ball inside to Hugo. Oh, lucky again. Hugo has a touch of the Gravenbergs about him, the way he lets the ball roll across the front of his body. Maka there. Trying to get stuck in, but again gives away a free kick in a dangerous area here just before half-time. Just tried to nick in and get a touch on it, but Bournemouth player Scott defended or protected the ball well, and it is a free kick. This is just definitely dangerous territory. Probably right on the edge of where you think they might try a shot. It's pretty right-hand side to central. Liverpool holding a high line right on the across the penalty spot here. Strike, blocked, straight into the wall from Tavernier. Well done, Liverpool. Gakpo and Salah do their job in the wall. Phil said, missed the Craigisms over the summer. Welcome back. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that, mate. So when I'm going into one of my angry rants, Phil, the brain starts flicking through all the cards saying, don't go too far, don't say this, don't say that. Because if I was watching this with that refereeing shenanigans with no camera on me, the language would have been even more colourful. Liverpool cleared that. Hooked back in by Bournemouth, surely. Second ball. Oh, yes, Cody. Lovely little spin here. Liverpool have bodies everywhere forward. Salah. It's got to be the right ball, boys. Hit it. Oh. Salah made a mess of that. Again, Salah got selfish and made a mess of that. Let's call it like it is. We had numbers there forward. Plenty of bodies. And Salah tries to cut inside and open it up for himself and runs into trouble. Should have laid that off. Not good enough. Ref blows up for half-time. And at half-time, Liverpool lead by a goal to 0. Yeah, Salah does need to pass there, Kyle. You're right. Took on too much. Should have laid it off. But it is half-time, and the Reds lead by a goal to 0. Right, obviously lots to go through there. But as it is half-time, and before we do go through it, again, just want to have a quick shout out and a quick ad read from our incredible sponsors, FotMob. Our friends at FotMob are giving away 10 copies of the new EAFC game and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. Everybody who downloads the app and redeems the code PL25 can participate in the giveaway. It is that easy. If you would like to take part in it, make sure that you download the app firstly. FotMob is already used and trusted by over 20 million people around the world and is the best football app on the market, bar none. Improve your matchday experience with live scores, live stats, XG, momentum graphs, and so much more during the live games. FotMob player ratings are universally used and recognised as the best stats-based rating model on the market. All players are rated with FotMob's bespoke algorithm, giving you detailed insights to who's playing well and who's not. For this season, our friends at FotMob have added physical metrics such as top speed and total distance for all players on every single match. The data will be live just like any other stat in the FotMob app. To participate in the giveaway for your chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or one of 5 Premier League shirts of your choice, simply download the FotMob app. Open it up, click on More, then Settings, and redeem the code PL25. Once again, that's PL25. As shown on screen, this will bring you to a Google form that will allow you to participate. And again, thank you so much to our friends at FotMob. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's up. FotMob are looking after us today. Make sure you do download that app and enter with a chance to win one of 10 copies of EAFC or 5 Premier League shirts. Right, let's get going. Gary said, last time a ball got fondled that badly, Michael Oliver was also involved. Oh, I know, bro. It's no surprise to me that he bottled it, because he bottles many of them big decisions. But, you know, we'll see the usual nonsense on TV about why this was the right decision or lessons will be learned on it. But ultimately, we got shafted yet again. JW LFC said, Isak who? Well, we still need another attacker, let's be honest. But what a display from Hugo. Ekatike 2 for 2. Loving this, said Adam. Thank you, mate. It's a great start for him. But look, I'm going to give you my take now on that opening 45 minutes. Lots to like about it, but lots to still work out. So let's talk defence first. I think Kanade still looks a little bit lost out there. Milos Kerkez looks a little bit too overly enthusiastic, shall we say, and landing himself in a few difficult positions. So he needs to just take a breath and calm down a little bit. In midfield, Alexis McAllister, I think, is doing as well as he can in that number 6 role. That isn't really one that he's used to, but again, not shy of putting himself about. Florian Wirtz, I can see a couple of different opinions in the chat. It feels like he's still a half second off, He will get to speed with the Premier League. You can see his brain is operating as quickly as he'd wanted to, but it's a different league, so it's going to take a little bit while for him to figure it all out and become the player that, well, we all know he's going to be. I think Dominic Szoboszlai's put in a decent shift in the first 45. Mohamed Salah, I'm going to be really blunt and honest about this. The shot that he had that was saved by Petrovic, absolutely the right decision to go himself. The one at the end of the first half, I can't help but feel he was selfish there. And with the options either side of him, he could have easily laid it off and we probably have a second. That's pretty much where my head is at with the first 45. But again, we have the lead. Hugo Ekitike with the goal, and very well taken from him as well. Sat the keeper down, side-footed into the goal, and gives us the lead. Let's have a look at some of the stats. So possession-wise, 61% for Liverpool, 39% for Bournemouth. 7 shots on Liverpool, 4 on target, 6 from Bournemouth, 1 on target. Dangerous attacks, 17 for Liverpool, 13 for Bournemouth. Corners, there's been 5 in the first half, 3 for us, 2 for Bournemouth. Total passes, 246 for Liverpool, 157 for Bournemouth. Pass and accuracy percentage, Liverpool at a very respectable 85, which is usually where we see it. Somewhere between 80 and 87 is kind of the average from what we've deemed watching Liverpool. 73% from Bournemouth. And tackles in the game, 10 for Bournemouth, 4 for the Reds. Still though, a work in progress, I think it's fair to say. We've seen some good stuff in that first 45 and still left a little bit wanting with some other stuff as well. Obviously, would be remiss of me not to speak about the incident the referee stopped the game for. We believe it was a racist comment towards Antoine Semenyo. And let me say, from all of us in football, whether you're a Liverpool fan or not, I hope the perpetrator of that act is held to account, banned and prosecuted, because it's a disgusting thing that nobody wants to see in football. Certainly not to a player as good as Antoine Semenyo, or any player shouldn't have to suffer that nonsense. So certainly an unsavoury moment in the game and not one that we want to see. Okay, so what we believe. So I'm gonna share an image on the screen now. Of what we believe is the moment that this racist incident happened. So bear with me. I'm going to just make this bigger for you. So we believe this is the incident in question. And as you can see, it seems to be, if we are correct here, the gentleman in that wheelchair. Now, again, this is still a moving situation, but if it is that gentleman and if he said what he said there, and if it was racist, no place, remove him, scumbag. You know, if that was the gentleman that made the racist comment, absolutely disgusting. No room for that in our club, no room for that in society. And I hope he is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because it's not welcome. It isn't. Nobody should have to go through that. It's bullshit and it's low and it's disgusting. And I'm so sorry to Bournemouth, to Semenyo, and to football. None of us want to see that. None of us. Where are we at? So many comments to catch back through. Benjamin said, are England going to the Euro? I always hear people talk in Euro. It's bizarre. Sounds like a political statement. Ben Jacob does it now. The commentators, I don't know what you mean by that. Are England switching to the Euro and money? Oh, they do it to make the fee look higher, I think, Benjamin, when these things are being thrown around. You see it in dollars sometimes as well. At least with that, you know, maybe it's just for the American market. But yeah, the Euro thing just makes the price look higher, doesn't it? John said, think it's Salah's last season. The legs are going. I've seen plenty of good stuff from Mo in that first half. But, you know, the one thing I will hold him to account for is I think he was selfish on that last move. The first one, good strike, decent save by Petrovic. We've always known that he doesn't have the same lightning pace that he once did. And I'm intrigued, you know, on the video earlier on, I spoke about the fact that Bayern Space had mentioned Liverpool may be in for Elise next summer. That I'll be interested to see if anything comes of it, because I could see a world where Elise maybe then becomes the successor longer term to Mo. The real Johnny Sin said, to be fair, Maka did it against Palace too, though. Look, Maka, I think, is playing the role as well as he can. He isn't Ryan Gravenberch. He is getting stuck in. But there's been a couple of fouls in there and late challenges as well. The timing feels a little bit off there. David said, glad they got rid of that fool from the ground. So, do you know what makes me more angry about it? And again, I'm not trying to speak for everybody. I'm speaking for me. if that's the guy, right? If the dude in the wheelchair said something racist, this is a guy who probably understands what it is to feel marginalized, and to see somebody in a marginalized community behave that way towards a black player, it makes me feel incredibly more sad, because I wouldn't want to see that happen to the guy in the wheelchair. I wouldn't want somebody to use his disability towards him as an insult. And to see that then happen, I feel ashamed. I do. I just feel ashamed that people still think they can behave that way in public or even behind closed doors. It's fucking sick. And this clown has no place in football or society. Just no room for it. It's as simple as that. Tipsy Dipsy said, you know, when the Prem is back with VAR being useless? Yep. And again, just putting out the nonsense that they do as well. Like, let me read out the crap that the Premier League's Match Centre put out. The referee's call of no red card to Senesi was checked and confirmed by VAR, with the action deemed not to be a clear handball offence, nor denying of a goal-scoring opportunity. I'm sorry, I've been around football for 36 years now, playing it since I was 7. That is as blatant and clear as a handball as you will ever see in a game of football. Doesn't matter where on the pitch it was. That was a handball. That was a handball. That was a handball. And no amount of bullshit from the Premier League or the PGMOL are going to change the fact that that was a handball. Don't try to lie to us. Don't try to take us for idiots. That was a handball. If you want to say it wasn't a denying of a goal-scoring opportunity, you can make an argument around that. But trying to tell people that that isn't a fucking handball is a piss take. He moved his hand and slapped the ball. It is blatantly clear it's a handball. So stop lying to the football public if you want respect from us towards the officials. Say you made a mistake. Say you were wrong, because the world knows you were wrong. Sebastian said, not the best, not the worst. Bournemouth playing with a lot of high pressing. Seems a bit nervy. That goal was necessary. Need to play calm and we win. You know, I can see the argument for the no denial of a goal scoring opportunity, because that is subjective. Fair enough. But to say that wasn't a handball, I'm sorry. Again, you're treating the football public like idiots. And we're going to hear all the shit about respecting referees and officials. But how are we supposed to? When they're given technology and England's finest, Michael Oliver, is in the VAR hub, and that's not a handball? I'm sorry. Nonsense. Hi Craig, this season I reckon Ekitike outscores Mo. Look, like I've always said, I don't mind who scores the goals. I'm easy in that regard. As long as Liverpool are winning games of football, you know, whoever scores the goals, I don't mind. But brilliant start for Hugo, and nice to get it out of the way from early doors, first game of the season. And, you know, it was needed for us as well at that moment to kind of settle the game down a bit. Jay said, love and blessings always, Craig, but yet again, officials against Liverpool, ridiculous, another season. It's just nonsense. Like I keep saying, like they tell us what we see with our own eyes in front of us isn't reality. And then they get uppity when people like me or fans online start calling the PGMOL a bunch of spoofers. How are you going to respect a collection or a group that constantly undermines the sport we all love and tells us that we have to fucking like it? Nah, sorry, it's nonsense. And I don't care if this is Liverpool, United, Arsenal. That's a handball in any game, at any time, in any era. And to try and say otherwise is just covering your own arses. But then again, what more do we expect from the PGMOL, Howard Webb and his band of merry morons? Because that's all they are, fucking spoofers. Respect is earned, not a God-given right. Kanade needs to lock in. He's giving me heart attacks, said anything and everything. Carl said Wirtz is just nervous playing Rush at the start, excuse me. Bowder said in the automations are integrated in the team, Liverpool becomes unbeatable. Yeah, it's the movement through the lines is beautiful. Really quick as well. Just that last ball on a few occasions in the first half maybe stopped us from having a breakthrough a little bit earlier. This one from Scratching Clabers. Salah is so desperate to hit the ground running to take away some of the Ballon d'Or votes his way. It's embarrassing. We need competition for Mo. Let's buy Semenyo. Look, I am going to sit here and say that Mo is chasing this, that, or the other. You know, what I'm going to say is, like I said all the way through, one of the chances he hit and forced the keeper into a save, no problem with that. The second one, he should have laid it off. He was selfish, and you know that's the most honest I can be about it. Acentino said, well said, Craig. There's no room for that. Thank you, sir. Davino. Hey, Craig, how are you doing? So excited for the new season. Hope the family as well. You look great in the Adidas stuff. Thank you. The VAR shit the bed. What's new? Yep. We understand as football fans mistakes can happen, right? We are all humans. But to then put out that, trying to tell us that it wasn't a clear and obvious handball, stop. Joseph said, crazy how the same guy would have been made up that Hugo scored. Disgusting. Exactly, Joseph, yeah. It's just the sheer arrogance of it as well, Joseph, you know, to wheel himself up to the barrier to speak disrespectfully and racist towards a player. I don't get where he gets off. It's disgusting. Can you say hello, Charlotte? Big Liverpool fan and fan of you. Of course, Charlotte. How are we? And thank you, Joseph, as well, mate. Appreciate you. Hope you're both enjoying the game so far. Jack said, out of all of our signings, Hugo was the one I wasn't convinced about. Now he's the only one I'm really 100% with. He's absolutely great. Thank you, bro. It kind of felt like the signing went under the radar a little bit because of the big Veert signing and, you know, some of the other players were moving after. But Hugo's really impressing me as well, Jack. So I'm glad you said it, bro. Right, we're underway for the second half, my friends, and no changes made by Arna. Just a reminder that Milos Kerkez did pick up a yellow card in the first half. And no, mate, Leone isn't on the bench. He would have had to have been registered before midday yesterday. So, unfortunately, isn't on the bench, but is officially a Liverpool player, of course, and is also wearing number 15 this season. Right, so let's have a little look, by the way, at some of the FotMob scores, seeing as how they are our sponsors today. Some of the player scores today. Alisson so far is at a 6.3. Frimpong 6.6. Kanade 7.2. Van Dijk 7.1. Kerkez 6.7. Szoboszlai McAllister 7 and 7.1. Ugo Ekitike 7.5. And then across the others, Salah 6.4. Vert 6.2. And Gakpo 6.8. Here we go. Vert slipping one in. Oh, lucky. Bournemouth player trading leg puts it behind. And again, if you want to see these stats for yourself in real time, make sure you download the FotMob app. And as I said, use PL25 as the code to get you into that draw for one of 10 copies of EAFC and 5 Premier League shirts they're giving away. Right, corner to Liverpool here. Joseph said, do you think racism had been stopped out by now? I just don't understand it from a human perspective. Like, there's so many things we can critique our fellow humans about. You're shit, as an example. Even though Semenyo's a great player, throw that at him by all means. You're not winning that today. You know, your team's brutal. Whatever, banter. But to go to racism? Yeah, man, I'm disgusted on behalf of all of our fan base. And I'm sure I speak for everyone like this. Just, it's saddening. Ooh, unlucky there. Hugo again, putting himself about from the corner. Ball ricochets and Hugo gets on it. I love his fighting quality so far, folks. I really do. Right, Bournemouth take the goal kick. Go short with it. Liverpool again, pressing them into submission. Szoboszlai. Back to Frimpong. Frimpong under a bit of pressure goes back to Alisson. Chris Thorne said, decided to come and listen to Craigie as Virgin Media is in meltdown and my pictures all over the place. My mate in Norway has a clear screen. Yeah, I noticed a couple of comments in the chat, mate, about the images. I have to say, from my Sky feed, I've had no issues. You know, I'm using a Sky satellite dish here and a Sky Q box, and for me, thankfully, it's been pretty good. So far, so good. Davino said, first half thoughts, Gakpo, Hugo, Dom and Virgil look good. Salah not getting the ball enough. Flo and Maka off the pace. Jeremy Frimpong looking comfortable. Ibu looks shaky. Milosh excited. Robbo come on at half time. Well, he didn't bring Robbo on, but I do think it's just a little bit too excitable for Kirkes in the first half. Szoboszlai, I thought he was good. I've got no issues with Wirtz. He might take a little while to get to the pace of the Prem. Gakpo now. 2-0. Cody Gakpo. Whoop, whoop. Cody gets the ball, does what Cody Gakpo does. Cuts across onto his right foot, goes to shoot once, pauses, goes a little bit wider again, then sets himself, side foots it into the bottom corner. Keeper no chance. Cody Gakpo off the mark. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 0. Gakpo to open the lead. 2-0. Whoop whoop. Well, in Cody, obviously shows some respect to Diogo as well. But that is our first Gakpo moment of the season there. Cody Gakpo. Ball slipped in from Miloš Kirkes to Ugo Ekitike, rolls it back to Cody. Cody opens up his body, runs across the 18-yard box, sets himself, side foots it in past the keeper. Cool, calm, composed finish, puts the Reds 2-0 up. One from Hugo Ekitike, one from Cody Gakpo. And now all we need is a little dancing alien to, ratchet up the tempo a bit. You don't blame it on the sunshine, you don't blame it on the moonlight, you don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. I don't know why that is Newland's song. I can't explain it, but it is, and that's where we're at. I just can't control my feet. 2-0. Whoop whoop. There we go. And we are back underway. That'll do. Lovely jubbly. Absolutely, J. Michael Beckford. Couldn't put it any better, bro. Lovely jubbly. Okay. Sorry, Mark, I'm just forwarding that on to Connor, mate, because I can't do it here. But I'll forward that on to Connor. Szoboszlai. Lovely ball into the channel to Salah. Salah now. Outside of the boot, unlucky. He tries an outside of the boot cross across the front of the goal. Keeper comes out and Superman punches it away. But again, good work from Mo. Beautiful ball from Szoboszlai and unlucky. Gaming Gas said, super easy, don't worry, Liverpool will be tested. Oh, mate, I know. You know, we've got tough games coming up. The next one against Newcastle away, Gas, that's going to be tasty. And then, of course, we have Arsenal coming up as well. Premier League wonder why players used to take the knee. I'm unlucky. Maka shot from outside the box. Petrovic gets a touch and it's over the bar. Sorry, it was in awe of that strike from Maka. Again, takes a touch, gets it out of his feet. Good stop. It's just saddening that it's happened, Star Girl. I just can't believe people are still so disgusting in this day and age. Arthur said that guy not realise Semenyo and Frimpong, both, I think it's Ghanaian. Is that I can't remember. I don't know the flag, Arthur, off the top of my head. But either way, they're both human beings. They deserve respect. Oh, Salah getting into it now with Smith. It's not very often you see Mohamed Salah getting riled up like that, but Gakpo as well. Yeah, something going on there. Salah's not happy. Gakpo's not happy. A little bit of handbags there. Referee calls them both over, having a little chat. Right, something nothing. We're back underway. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you don't be pushing Mo around, mate. Don't be pushing the king. Not in front of the cop. How dare you? Somebody just needs to remove Salah away from him here, because this is going to end up in a free out, something stupid. Cleared away. Frimpong out of the box. His strike ricochets. Ball back in play now with Alexis McAllister. Dominic Szoboszlai. Kirkes. That Mark Connor messaged me to say that that's done. Thank you, Connor, as well. Strike! Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Lads, this second half's delicious so far. Really enjoying what I'm seeing. The intensity level looks like it's been ratcheted up a degree or two. Good challenge, Dom. Good challenge. Arthur said Ghanaian is correct. You got it. Thank you, mate. Yeah, the flags are tiny as well with, in the super chats, bro. Appreciate you, Arthur, and agree with your sentiment as well, mate. Top of the table, said Suleiman. Yeah, top of the league, mate. We're top of the league. Just cancel it now. End the season. It's over. Frimpong, he's turned. Referee plays advantage, a good advantage as well. It would have been a foul against Frimpong, but referee did play a good advantage as Bournemouth were in possession. Ball then fizzed across the Liverpool penalty area, and thankfully for us, it goes all the way out on the far side for a throw-in. So what are we thinking of the boys in the kits? Is it just me who is actually in awe of how beautiful these kits look on the lads? Because honestly, everything about Liverpool feels nearly perfect now. The three stripes being back. Look, I'm an unashamed Adidas fanboy, but I honestly think they look absolutely mint out there in that new kit. Good challenge. Lovely challenge that from Alexis. That's a foul on him. Got to be a booking here, ref. Got to be a booking for Truffair, surely. No. Lovely challenge that from Maka. Love it. Truffair tried to get back at him, fouled him. And how that wasn't a yellow for stopping Maka's progression, I don't know. Jokey Joshi said kits are stunning, one of my favourites. It really is amazing. Like, it looks so... Even the long sleeve ones, like on the likes of Mo out there and Wirtz who's wearing the long sleeve, look absolutely brilliant. Free kick here against Bournemouth. Foul from Smith again. Interesting to see what decisions Arna makes bench-wise today in the game. He's having a chat now with Sipka Hulshoff there on the sideline. Allison, lovely little outside of the football to Kanade. Love that from Ali. Ibu now. Salah. Wirtz. Back to Salah. Salah tries to flick one around the corner to Ekitike, but it was well defended. Wirtz has it back though. He pings one out left side now to Cody Gakpo. Gakpo to Florian Wirtz. Back to Milos Kerkez, Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai. Gakpo, Ekitike tries a little give and go, just the release wasn't great. I mean, Szoboszlai wasn't letting go of his arm there, was he? Anthony Taylor trying to let the play go on, but Szoboszlai just was not letting go of his arm there, and that was a definite free kick. Playing them at their own game, second half, said Kyle. The rivals on Twitter just hating on Wirtz. Why are they worried about Wirtz? This is hilarious. If people are talking about Wirtz that aren't Liverpool fan on Twitter, just admit that you're scared, because there's no other reason for opposition fans to be talking about or worrying about a Liverpool player in his first game in a new league when we're winning. They're just scared of him, but they've every right to be. They should be, because when he clicks, it's going to be scary. Salah to Frimpong. Well done, Jeremy. Keeping the ball in. Arthur said, notice more players rocking the long sleeves. Dom, Mo, Flo, Adidas really done well with the kits this year. Yep, they have. Gakpo again. Oh, unselfishly tries to ping it out to Mo. Just a little bit too much zip on the pass from Cody. So Cody picks up the ball left-hand channel. Cuts in as you would expect him to across the 18-yard box. It opens up, but he tries to play it out to Mo. Just a little bit too much zip on the pass. And unfortunately it goes behind for a goal kick. Andy Robertson and another Liverpool change getting ready on the sideline there. How's that not a foul, Taylor, you gimp? Szoboszlai clearly fouled in front of Anthony Taylor and he waves play on. I mean, the state of it. Ball in. Verge heads it, but it's straight to a Bournemouth player. Allison comes, gets a punch. Somebody get there. Frimpong plays it off Semenyo and goes behind for a goal kick. Kind of calamitous defending there. A bit of Keystone Cop stuff. But eventually, we finally clear our lines. Verge heads it straight to a Bournemouth player. Then there's a cross that Allison flaps at. It drops. Frimpong kicks it off Semenyo and it goes behind. Not great. Endo coming on now and Robbo. This be for Maka. So, interesting. So, Frimpong coming off for Endo. So, Endo going to right back. Yeah, so it's two fullback changes from Arna. Frimpong and Kirkes off, Endo and Robbo on. So, two straight swap fullbacks. Right, that should be straightforward. Robbo left back, Endo right back. Yep, Endo's gone straight into that right back position as well, so. Brian, how are we, dude? Much love. Thank you so much, Brian. So, first goal, Brian, was scored by Hugo Ekitike. Second goal scored by Cody Gakpo. And I hope the gig goes well for you, sir. And much love to you as well from the AA community. I hope the gig goes well for you, Brian. But, yeah. First goal scored by Hugo Ekitike. Second one from Cody Gakpo. And the kits are looking amazing out there, Brian. So, yeah, as I said, I know I speak for all of us, Brian. I hope the gig goes well. Right, Bournemouth on the attack. Out to the right channel to Semenyo. Good challenge on him from Maka. How is that a corner, referee? Oh, this referee, man. This referee. How can, I'm not a physics professional, but I don't understand how Maka could kick the ball off a Bournemouth player and it to go in the other direction and the ref still give a corner. I don't know what to say. You know, anybody out there who is a physics professor or something, please explain that one to me, because kicking a ball one direction off another player to go that way, can't see how that's a corner. Good challenge again from Wirtz. Is Bradley injured? He is, Jack. Yeah, he is. You know, he hasn't been around for the last few preseason games either, unfortunately. Natasha said, glad to listen to you, Craig. I'm trying to watch the game, but Virgin Media decided to play up, miss the goals. Yeah, I've seen a few people, Natasha, in the chat mention some issues with Virgin Media and their coverage of the game. Sorry to hear that for anybody. It's bad enough you're paying your money to watch it, you know. But I'll do my best to keep you up to date. I'm lucky so far for me on my Sky coverage anyway. So far, so good. Salah to Szoboszlai. Back to Wirtz. Oh! He tries to just pass it into the far corner. Very, very similar to some of the goals he scored for Leverkusen. Szoboszlai rolls it across to him, edge of the box, and he just tries to sweep it into the far corner, just the wrong side of the post there for Flo. Unlucky. So close to a third. Just 6-8 inches the other side of the post, and that one's in. Again, look at the aggression in the Liverpool lads in the second half. It's so much better. Salah Tries an outside of the football. Again, it's intercepted and cleared by Bournemouth. But the aggression in the second half has been brilliant from the lads. Flying into challenges and really just setting the tone. Now, Canade back there covering. Ball across. Semenyo, 2-1. 2-1. Again, exploited the space. Vacated when our right back goes up pitch. This time, it's Endo caught out of position. Canade's trying to cover. Bournemouth play the ball across. Semenyo's there, sweeps it home. Alisson gets a hand to it, but look at this. Give it away and look at the space again. It's not Canade's fault. He's doing his best to get back in there and cover, but and then nobody. Look at Virgil. Nobody tracking the run of Semenyo either. Let's have a look at this from Virgil. Virgil and Robbo. And nobody. No communication. Virg doesn't look like he knows Semenyo's there. Robbo sprinting back should have given Virg a shout to let him know. Just no communication across the back line. Good goal counter-attack wise from Bournemouth, but way too easy to concede from us. Again, like last season, in possession when we turn it over is when we're at our most vulnerable. Right. Szoboszlai now. Switch it. Oh, Gakpo's in space. Corner. Endo can't be going up the pitch like Frimpong. I know. Canade was left with a lot to do there. And then Robbo couldn't get back. Virgil had one man, didn't know that the run was coming from Semenyo as well. Just exploited the space that was left there. Right, boys. Corner to Liverpool. 25 to go. A bit nervier than it needs to be now. Maka, back to Wirtz. Ball across. Back to Maka. He tries to dink one in. It's blocked. Gakpo. Goes out left side. Oh, jeez. Again, heavy touches. Wirtz. Gakpo to Salah. Wirtz. Dinks one in. Straight to Petrovic. Too easy. Liam said Ekitike is so good. 100 million plus for Isak. Actually necessary, sensible. Yes, because we need the best and we need cover and we need options. But I get the idea behind what you're saying, but he's the one who Arna wants, so we need to have more than one, to be fair. It feels like a move that a child makes on FIFA. Need a backup striker and a winger. Give Ekitike the 9. Look, I love what I'm seeing from Ekitike as well, mate, but you know, I wouldn't mind him and Isak in the same 11. You know, if you're looking at the front line today, 1 second. Bournemouth on the attack again, blocked by Canade and Family Jewels there. If you're looking at the 11 today, and I'm saying Mo's the weaker link in that attack today, if I'm being blunt and honest. Yeah, every time he passes the ball, it's blocked, intercepted. Yeah, Mo is the one today that I would say I'm displeased with. Corner in. Headed away by Liverpool. 1/4 of the game still to go. Let's not be reactionary. Well, we're all like entitled to an opinion, mate. And there's another one from Salah. 4 players around him. And he tries to do everything himself. So Alisson plays a long ball over the top. Salah brings it down. Drags himself wide, but never gets it out of his feet and gets his head up to have a look. So, Ekitike is now the second player for Liverpool to score an assist in his opening competitive game. Another ball straight over the top here. Endo swings at it, makes a mess of it, and Verge is forced to put it behind. Really don't... This decision to put Endo at right back not looking good here from Arnott. He's been struggling to keep up with the pace of the game since he's come on, and even there, ball over his head, threw a leg at it and didn't make a decent connection. Again here, we look so dangerous in transition though. Oh. Does Anthony Taylor just not want to give us a free kick? Is that what's going on? Because it feels like he just doesn't want to give us any free kicks anytime one of our players is brought down. Szoboszlai. Robbo. Maka. Good football. Out left side to Szoboszlai. So I understand why you would take off Kirkes on a yellow, but I don't understand why he took off Frimpong. Szoboszlai, Gakpo, strike from Cody again, straight at Petrovic. Look, again, Endo, you can look at the space that's in behind. Every time Bournemouth get the ball now, they're targeting Endo in the space in behind. Somebody needs to tell Endo to just sit back 10 yards. Because he can't play the role the same way Frimpong can, because he doesn't have the engine and the pace. Come on, boys. Game's getting a bit stretched now. Semenyo. Cross in from Bournemouth. Endo heads it away. Second ball's recovered from Bournemouth again. Cross in. Virgil heads it away. Wendell Virgil. Come on, boys. Come on. Well done. Unlucky. Come on. Let's go again. 20 to go. Uh-oh. Oh, God, this is messy. Jesus, boys, come on. So messy. Just clear your lines. Another cross in. Flicked on over Alisson's crossbar. Arna needs to do something to get control of this in midfield a bit. It's getting a bit too tetchy here and it doesn't need to be. So Gomez about to come on now for Canada, it looks like. And Curtis Jones, the other change. So Ugo Ekitike coming off to be replaced by Curtis Jones. Again, I don't like this change. Nothing against Jones coming on, but I don't see the point of bringing Ekitike off when he's looking lively and is a real threat. Maka. So Maka and Ekitike off. Gomez and Jones on. So who's gone in? Gomez surely gone to right back here, right? Gomez must be gone to right back. He has to be. Yeah, that makes more sense. Joe Gomez gone straight into the right back position and Endo's gone into his more familiar defensive midfield position. That makes sense. Although, feels like we've wasted a change in the first place in doing that and then realising very quickly, at least he made the change and realised it wasn't working with Endo at right back. Right, Liverpool throw in. Still just trying to get to grips with exactly what's happening here. So Gomez is right back. Endo's gone into the number 6 role. looks like Wirtz is operating as a false 9. Good ball, Mo. Gorgeous ball from Mo to Curtis Jones. Gakpo. Again, he tries to slip in. Robbo, unlucky. What a ball from Salah to switch that up, but unlucky. Inglesy said, Slot's okay, made a mistake and changed it. Yeah, look, definitely. I'd rather he did that, mate, than doesn't admit the error. So, yes, I agree. It wasn't the right decision in the first place, but at least he's altered it. Keith said, when Hugo comes off, this is why we need Isak. I think we just need the options, to be fair. I'm just trying to figure this out exactly. 1, 2, 3. Well done, Endo. Wirtz controls it with his shoulder. Nobody there when he slips it down, though. Good to see Gomez back out there on the pitch as well. Obviously didn't really get to see much of him in pre-season. So good to see him back out there. Just over 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1. Liverpool goal scored by Hugo Ekitike and Cody Gakpo. Bournemouth's goal from Antoine Semenyo. Bournemouth tried to switch it into the left channel. Goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in. It is interesting watching that front four now, because Wirtz is kind of dropping in between the left side and the centre. Gakpo seems to be a little bit deeper on the far side. Endo, Canade, Gomez, Endo. Lovely little triangles here, lads. Soboslai, he's under a bit of pressure. Nothing on, so he goes back to Allison. Virgil, Soboslai. To Joe Gomez. Out to Mohamed Salah. Salah cuts inside. Slips it in. Again, just a bit behind Soboslai. Now Bournemouth looking to attack. Semenyo in possession. They've got runners left. It's nobody there for us. Somebody get to the fucking left. 2-2. Not good enough. 2-2. Not good enough. Pathetic defending again. Bournemouth catches on the counter and it's 2-2. That is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The defender should be ashamed of himself. That is a fucking shit show. Standing off, do nothing. And he strikes and scores. Not good enough. Disgustingly bad. Ryan said, this is an awful performance against a side like Bournemouth. Expect a lot more for this money spent. I get the boys need to gel, but Craig, I'm worried. Kaz said, I feel like we still need time to gel together. It's early days. It feels a bit messy lately with ball passing and comms. Keep being a legend. And Jack said, joke. It is. There's no excuse in this. Semenyo picks up the ball in his own half. And look at the state of this shit. Pussies. Challenge him. Challenge him. No. Fucking idiots. Why are our centre-backs afraid to challenge? Do they not want to get their fucking knees dirty? Van Dijk and Canade backing off like a couple of gobshites and allow him to just open up and get the shot away. Just stand there and fucking make him do something. Stand there and challenge. It's not that hard. Back off, and then what? Watch him as he scores. That is terrible. Terrible. From two centre-backs that should know better. Absolute horseshit defending. Just kept dropping off. Just stand up and front him up. Make him do something. Make him make a decision. Backing off and just letting him slaughter home. Embarrassing defending. Embarrassing. And it all came from a Salah pass behind the intended man as well. So yet again, we give away possession and they score. Yet again. Same as last season, same as before. Every time we give away possession, we're vulnerable. LFC allergic to a clean sheet, concede every game. Gaz said, great result, we need to win now. Well, it's not a result yet, guys. There's 12 minutes to go, but it's absolute nonsense. Why do Virgil and Canade always want to be too cool for school? Never front up and challenge. Never. Back off, back off, back off, back off. For what? Commit the man. Stand up. Make him do something. Nonsense. Virgil. He tries to pull it across. Ball ricochets behind for a corner. Again now, it's desperation stuff to try win the game late. A game that we were in command of easily. 2-0 up. Ridiculous. Szoboszlai now to Endo. This would be basically Liverpool now just trying to scrape a late winner. In a game we were 2-0 up and in command of. Slot makes changes that absolutely fucking... The whole thing makes no sense, lads. Hit it. Oh, fuck. Dom should have scored. Ball played in. Puts it onto his left foot, but it's always going away from the goal when he strikes it. Unlucky. Just couldn't get the connection on the shot properly. Oh, I agree, Jack. Jack said we need to stop taking Ekitike off when the game isn't won yet. I know. I don't understand it, mate. I said it when he took him off. I don't get it. Like, if his intention is to shore up and go defensive, well, it ain't working, is it? Ball out to Salah. Salah now. Szoboszlai, his strike's palmed away by Petrovic. So Varner's whole idea of these changes is to shore up midfield and close it up. Well, it ain't working. It never works. We always just look like we're struggling when he makes changes. And now a game that we had command of and had won. Taylor, get the yellow card out, you simp! Get the card out! Gary said, couldn't keep a clean sheet in a nun's bedroom. Oh, mate, it's shocking. Oh, look, a Newcastle fan thinks he can come in and banter us. Fuck off, you gimp. Newcastle fan, mate, stop, would you? Chiesa on now for Wirtz. So Chiesa on, see if we can do something in the last 9. This one's on the manager, I'm not going to lie. Ball in. Robbo heads it back in. Hooked away by Bournemouth. Ball pinged out, looking for Salah. Oh, go on. Oh, lucky heavy touch, got it away from him. I'm fed up on Gakpo playing on merit from before. To be fair, today ain't Gakpo's fault, mate. He scored a goal. You know, if we're going to be critiquing of today, well, talk about the substitutions, the timing, the actual personnel, and why. And talk about our centre-backs being a disgrace again. Anybody want to tell me again why they think Canade's worth 200 grand a week? Because I don't see it. And Virgil seems to be afraid to go to ground or make a challenge. Just back off, back off, back off, back off, back off, back off. For what? Commit the man and make him do something. Offside flag up against Robbo, so goal or free kick, no corner. The substitutions reversed the momentum. Yep, no argument. You're all right with that. Substitutions were stupid. Again, let's go back to why he might have made the changes. And if he made the changes to shore up the game and to see it out, I think we can safely say that didn't work. And then he had to make a change to alter his change when Endo was getting rinsed. Again, why take off Ekitike? Why take off Frimpong? It makes no sense. Take off Kirkhouse because he's on a yellow for Robbo, fair enough. But you're taking off Frimpong and putting on a defensive midfielder with no pace at right back and having him playing further forward? That's just a recipe for disaster. And now we're back into desperation mode. Come on, boys. There's still a chance we can win this at the death, but so much more difficult than it needed to be. Call Chelsea back for Canade will help title hopes. Both of them, by the way. Yes, we can talk about Canade, but let's not absolve Virgil of his errors today as well, because that second goal in particular has really wound me up. Both of them just backed off, and just allowed him to get a shot away. Could have committed him 15 yards further up the pitch. Salah, good control. Again, though, the pass is not where it needs to be. 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. 2-2. Again, Verge tries the Hail Mary ball over the top. Overhit, goes behind for a goal kick. Well, that's impossible, Owen, because he's made 5 substitutions, so can take off a player and break the rules. Again, no Rio Ngamoa brought on either. You know, supposed to replace Diaz, but yeah, twice now when we've needed a change from the bench, Arna hasn't brought him on. So we're leaving ourselves short yet again. Look at the state of this. Like, Canada can't even head a ball to a Liverpool player. Oh, that's another foul on Salah. You know, I feel really sorry for Elliott. If he can't get on while Salah's this bad, what hope is there for him? Slot too quick to go defensive. And Jack said we desperately need Bradley and Grav back. Free kick here. Bournemouth pushing their line very high, about 3-4 yards ahead of the 18-yard box. Sob goes short, Soboslai to Endo, Endo out to Robbo. Robbo pings in a hopeful cross. Virgil heads it across, drops the Gakpo. Sliced, headed away by Bournemouth. Second ball headed away. Fuck's sake. Owen said Slot got no clue. Well, he's definitely not made some good changes today, bro. Owen said 300 million and we can't defend. Newcastle don't need Isak to batter us. Arsenal will coast to the league title. The game isn't over yet. Yes! Chiesa! Woo! Federico! 3-2. There you go. That'll do. That'll do. 3-2. And this is luck. 3-2. Federico Chiesa scores the goal that puts the Reds back in front. Now, see it out. Yes, Fede. And Arna has the cheek to then turn around and do this to the players, as if this hasn't been lacking all game. Salah ball in, Petrovic gets a hand on it, Bournemouth headed away, drops to Federico, he adjusts his body, manipulates it in mid-air, opens it up, side foots the ball into the corner. Lovely finish from Fede in front of the cop, 3-2 Liverpool. Lovely. Slices across, a beautiful finish from Fede. Beautiful finish. Arna's getting lucky today. He's getting lucky and he needs to learn from this. Jack said he's a cop-out now. He is, but this game could have and should have been so much more straightforward, but absolutely thank you, Fede. Now see it out. Don't be passive in defending again. Stand up. Jesus Christ! Defend better. Man, this defending is terrible. It's like calamitous stuff altogether. Ian said, happy for Fede. Always wanted him to succeed. Oh yeah, mate. Honestly delighted for him to get that goal in front of the cop as well. But it's just, look, I hope we go on to win this game, and there's a chance we do, but make no mistake, work still needs to be done because there's been a lot of, what's the word I want to say? It's not good enough, basically, defensively, and Arna's changes have been all over the shop. We need Isak and Gay now, said Itachi. Chiesa to start next game, bench Salah, said Owen. Well, look, we're blessed that Chiesa took that chance today because, well, it's not over yet, but we dug ourselves a hole and it was desperation time to get it out. 6 minutes added on at the end of it. 6 minutes. Corner in. Canade gets a head on it. Second ball, Bournemouth have it. Oh, it's another corner. Another corner here to Bournemouth. They look like they were going to take it quickly, but they leave it. Again, lads, defend. Cleared at the near post by Robbo. Dave said he must stay, he deserves his chance. Well, he's always had the right attitude, Dave, hasn't he? Even when you see him on the bench or when he comes on, always plays with a smile, always looks like he wants to be here. And it's a moment that Chiesa's patience and class deserves. Come on, boys, see this out now. Yes, Fede, put yourself around. Good man. Slot needs to get a grip on this defensive. Fede, go. He does. Defensively, shambolic, mate. There's no excuse for it. The changes were horrific. The way we defended both Bournemouth goals, horrific. Turning over possession again. Us putting ourselves into trouble by giving the ball away and then leaving ourselves wide open. Gomez. Soboslai. He's dispossessed. Bournemouth looking the break now. Good challenge. Good challenge, Endo. Bournemouth go direct. Well done, Ali. Ali right out on the edge of his box. Claims that one. 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Appreciate everyone joining us, by the way, for the first game of the season. If I can ask you to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. As you can see, we're on the hunt for 350,000. We need your help to get there. If you can hit that subscribe button, please do. Carl said, I'm shaking with nerves. Same, dude. Looking comfortable at 2-0 and now very nervy, but at least we're ahead. We need a no-nonsense defender, one who loves a tackle. Bastoni, Bremer, Canale out. We need a proper DM, Grafenberg, Salah. He needs competition. I just don't understand that second goal from Bournemouth. I don't understand Virgil and Canale jockeying and not committing the man. You know, you can drop so many yards back, but you can't let him into your penalty area. And to just do that and stand it up. Goal, Salah! 4-2! Whoop, whoop! Mo gets his goal, right-footed in front of the Kop. Mohamed Salah, doubt him at your peril. Whoop, whoop! Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, running down the wing. Salah, la, 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 the Egyptian king. With a Diogo Jota celebration as well. Right-footed from Mo in front of the Kop. 4-2. Whoop, whoop. By the way, Jones knows at Sky, who does the predictions, predicted exactly this scoreline. 4-2. And again, good hard running from Mo as well, in behind to keep that ball in. Stands up the defender, cuts in, right foot, early strike, low into the corner. Good finish, Mo. And from 2-2 to 4-2 in the blink of an eye. I just try hard, said hello from Slovakia. Watch all your vids. Thank you, man. Appreciate your support and welcome in. Honestly, I'm not just saying this, but Slovakia is somewhere I've really thought of visiting a lot lately. It looks a beautiful country, man. Beautiful, beautiful country. Oh, lads, relax now. Breathe. Breathe. Jack said he's played bad, but I forgot about that. Oh, mate, I'm just relieved at this point. I'm just relieved because this has been mental, this game. We've seen the best and the worst of Liverpool in 190 minutes. But again, what we did see, and I guess I'd rather not have to see this, but let's address it anyway. We've seen that when the chips are down, they don't give up. They do keep fighting back and they never give in on a result. I'd rather it didn't get to the point. Final whistle goes, by the way. It is all over. King 7 said, one of the craziest opening games I've witnessed. Great game. Arthur Smith said, you can hear them crying in Turin. Federico, he's here to win. One shot with Slot, and he said, ciao, F off Juventus. I'm a copite now. And the final whistle has gone, ladies and gentlemen. The referee has blown it up. It finishes on the opening day of the season. The champions 4, Bournemouth 2, in a game that was, well, let's be honest, much harder work than it needed to be. The record continues, said Phil. Yeah, I think it's 13 now, is it, mate? Years in a row, the Reds are unbeaten on the opening day. Tony said, thank F for that. Phew. Salah, the only player we got annoyed at for playing bad, that, what's this? That shuts us all up with a goal. Suleiman said, I think Arna is experimenting too much. Mohammed said, if we don't shore up the defence, we're going to have to start scoring 4, 5, 6 to win games. Yep. You know, a lot of really good points and a lot of stuff I want to discuss in the match reaction. Before I do, just another word again from our incredible sponsors today. If you haven't done it already, then don't forget to go across and check out and download the FotMob app. You can do so by scanning the QR code in the bottom corner. Use the code PL25, PL 25 to make sure that you are entered into the giveaway that they're doing for 10 copies of EAFC and 5 Premier League shirts of your choice. We'll go through it in more detail in the match reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't vintage, but eventually we got the job done. It finishes at Anfield, Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. The Reds off to a winning start, although it could have been a lot easier than it was in the end. Hugo Ekitike opened the score, and then came Cody Gakpo. Liverpool's third goal, and the hero really of the evening, Federico Chiesa, comes off the bench to put the Reds back in the lead. And then the fourth goal, finished by Mohamed Salah to make it 4-2. Both Bournemouth goals scored by Antoine Semenyo. And again, great performance from him in a Bournemouth shirt. Obviously, there was the unsavoury incident as well about the racism aimed at Semenyo, and we absolutely criticise, disown that gentleman responsible. Look, I will see you for the match reaction. We will be back in 60 seconds time. Thank you again to everyone that joined us. Hit that subscribe button before you head off. We'll see you for the match reaction. 60 seconds.